My name is Dor, and I'm joined by Possible to bring you guys today's grand finals. It has been a long time coming. It's been a long road here for a lot of these students, but Paul, they earned it, and they had to work hard to do so.
Tuck into that corner. Such a difficult retake. I mean, even that was going to be difficult for Instinct, and that was probably the best chance they had. Ooh. Another 4 kills for Jakey in the round. When Jakey cleaning up alongside Joinho. More and more Pearl for us. No way for Glyph to salvage this situation. And UST, after 32 rounds, get their Pearl. Oh, so a very sensible pick here from OC, and a map where they should be able to very comfortably answer back. Match point already. I'm not,
I didn't expect Beers to, and I'm gonna be honest, it felt like it flew by.
They're not stalling, they're not waiting. It's a 13-5 to tie up our series. Split is going to be our third map of the day. And this is the map coming into this series I felt the most confident about for UST.
All it takes is one favorable trade, and UST just seemed to topple all of OC. OC up to 5. This is... salvage isn't even the right word. Resurrected by OC. That's an angle to work with, and they didn't actually need to do that much. He holds it despite the attacking lockdown, and the operator quickly stops any plans OC had of making this map go to overtime.
But now we go to probably what you have to assume is, if not their worst map, their least comfortable. Lotus is UST's permaban.
This is not how we expected this map to go, Paul. I think we can say that. Oh, Saint with a big set of 2, though. UST rest on their laurels for a moment too long. Saint now wants more. Ooh. Drips for a 3rd, and he seems a little mad. I don't think he's thinking about the 1v1. And he wins it. Oh, another player. Now he's worried about behind. He's seen the chamber come from here before. Entry held off by a grenade for a moment. He comes in, and Joey's fighting Ghost. He has no clue where this player is. The shadows off the buildings should scare him at this point, but he's got the right angle. Entry's got the right shot, though. A win for OC makes it a 5-7 half. I am scared, though. UST are 2 for 2 on 30-plus round games in the past 2 days. I have to feel like if this thing goes to OT, they're slightly favored.
Saint, the last one standing, has to reload. The last one on site, at least. It's all on Entry now, and with just an op to his name, he's being covered. Nate is holding the line. Not allowing Entry to stop the defuse, already half done. There, it does get stopped. Entry found just the tiniest hole of timing, and the headshot doesn't come through.
Oh my god, Paul. They do not make Valorant games better than these.
2, it's all on you now to try and deny overtime.
One shot.
Perfect shot! Maybe not perfect, but it'll do. We get more OT in this series.
UST on a game point that they have to win.
Even if their last one didn't quite land, Nate, not quite the perfect placement on a crosshair. Jakey with the magic gun! Ruins everything OC wanted. Flash, it catches him. Jakey, it takes him an uncharacteristic second, but he'll get it done.
I swear you can see his mouth shake. Despite the nerves on both of these teams, I don't care what tier 2 situation you've been in before. There's money on the line. There's a lot of pride on the line, and this is as close as finals get.
Nate, how could you ever lock this up here? You can't. We'll go for 2 more rounds. This has not been seen by UST. Will they anticipate him tucked into the corner?
They absolutely don't.
So much utility. No Entry can't stay around to help him. He's not cleared. He's not cleared. 1, 2. Already, I'm getting flashes of Teague from yesterday. Another raise tucked into a corner that UST don't anticipate.
2v1 now. Sake. Gotta bail him out. Tall order for pretty much anybody. Does get around. He isolates a 1v1. Oh, but he wants the 1v1 with Saint. He dodges the flash. This is the last place Saint's making it. He's out. How did he get away? No! UST up to 15. He has moved like you would not believe. His feet dance like no other. And OC are spun in circles. They had no idea where he was. Okay, Instinct waiting for the opportunity. hit a shot on Tiger to buy them a 5th map. The stun comes in. It's the last piece of util they've got. The satchel available makes Instinct wary of pushing forward. OC Saint, though, does save the day. Tiger at the back of the site. An unkillable god at this point in time. Bolstered by Jakey. Gets taken down. Gods may die to Saints, it seems, as OC are given a chance, a prayer. He needs the shot on the Jakey. Jakey choosing the right time to swing. Gets one. Saint for the second. The stun won't hit. But can he buy the final set of kills? He needs a spike plant or a miracle. The spike will go down. The Arbiter shot through. Connects. And it's UST winning it all. God, Paul, every last bone in my body just wishes we get a grand finals as good as Winters was. But that is a tough match to beat. We've got 2 teams on the docket today, though, one of which that was in that game. Try and offer us up something just as compelling. Of course, my name is Dor. I'm joined by Possible to my side over there. We're going to be bringing you all of the action. We've got OC up against Blinn. They have fought long and hard to get here.
I mean, these are the 2 of our top 4 teams that we haven't seen face off on broadcast. They've played against each other. You can see it right there at the top left. This quarterfinal here in South, Blinn Blue took it 2-1. And then in Winter, they also played each other there in the quarterfinal. That time, it was OC who knocked Blinn down to the lower bracket. Both of them pretty adept at lower bracket runs at this point, I have to say. You know, Blinn getting to the lower final in Winter, and then, of course, they ran all the way back through after getting knocked in quarters to win in Fall. This is a potential repeat title for Blinn. And OC, as we saw, lost versus UST in the grand finals in Winter. So they want a title. They want to join UST and Blinn in the conversation, in those first place seeds. It's going to be a good day of Valorant.
I think it's difficult. OCU, I mean, last time they came up, they came from the top half of the bracket, right? In the top half of the bracket, we have to preface this comes with a pretty big advantage of getting the first set of bans, like a very, very real choice in the direction that the match takes. And OC had that lovely advantage heading into the last one. UST, I mean, to say they overcame it with a miraculous feat of strength is probably an understatement. Now, OCU has to do the same thing against Blinn Blue against the map pool.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be difficult, but those are the odds you have to face sometimes if you want to be the best. Not only coming out of the regular season, as this is our last full tournament of the regular season of CVAL for the year. We've had winter and fall. Spring is wrapping up today. But also, you got 6 days before Nationals starts, right? It starts on Saturday. So you want to go into Nationals with heat, with fire. Those first couple of rounds are going to be brutal before there's any talk of double elims. So you're going to want to come out with the highest possible seed, which I'm pretty sure would be if OC won. Again, I don't know if there's official word on specifically how the bracket might shake down. But either way, you want that first place spot, not just for the scholarship money bonus, but because you want to be the top dogs of one of the most competitive regions of CVAL.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line today. Because being the top team a couple months ago is a very different thing from being the top team 6 days before you get into Nationals. So for these teams, like you said, it means a lot. Let's go ahead and start talking about them, though. We've got 2 ridiculously strong teams, I think in very different ways at that, Paul.
Certainly. I mean, let's just start off with our technically expected favorite, right? Blinn Blue. This is a team that coming into CVAL, the Blinn College just wanted to be dominant, right? They get a ton of great players. Momiji, Spaz, Town were on this roster back when Blinn won in fall. And then they won and then upgraded, adding on Say and Teague. Unbelievable star power on this roster. And from what I've heard, they've made it even scarier because they've restructured a little bit since we saw them in winter lose in that lower final to UST. They've restructured a bit, and Spaz is the guy I'm really going to be watching out for today. They've restructured their comms so that Spaz can frag harder. The dude is the highest rated player in all of CVAL South right now in our round of 8. He just does insane damage, has insane stats, but this whole team can frag.
Yeah, I think that's the scary thing about Blinn Blue. They are coordinated. They have that game sense with one another. They've been playing together a while. But above and beyond everything, they win a lot of fights with just raw gun power. On the other side of them, though, is an extremely coordinated team one that I think we would definitely argue stands the test against Blinn on the other side with their coordination by being able to take those unfair fights and turn the tides against Blinn via numbers as opposed to raw aim.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them yesterday, right? Eli Instinct, Saint, Glyph, and Entry. Glyph and Instinct, of course, are the two I really want to zone in on, as I think they had the best days yesterday. But, of course, Entry also, phenomenal Jet player. And like I said yesterday going into the top of the show, Saint and Eli, while they don't necessarily frag as hard as the other three members on their roster, they fit their roles very well. I was super impressed with Eli specifically. I believe on that last map of Icebox, the recon darts, the owl drones, even as Hunter's Fury just completely shut down everything. He was absolutely dominating KHS on the other side, which is impressive because KHS is such a crazy player in and of himself. So this team certainly cannot be counted out. I would not be surprised if they walked away with a win today.
Absolutely not. Their efficiency is unmatched. We talked about it yesterday when we were talking about the Jet head-to-head. Today we have something pretty similar that tells a very similar story. Entry coming in with practically the most traded deaths on Jet, maybe in all of the South. And I think that's an impressive stat because it doesn't just speak about Entry, right? It speaks about the rest of OCU backing him up appropriately.
All right, and the crazy thing is, OC just have, if you look at purely the stats, OC seem to have just superior teamwork to Blinn, right? Now, there is some, there's a little asterisk, a little disclaimer I have to put in there because OC have been running through the lower bracket, whereas Blinn have had to fought through the upper. But, when it comes to that cast score, right, the kill, assist, survive, trade score, which is basically just when you take a fight, is it going well for you? And if not, is your team trading you, right? That's essentially what that statistic means. OC have a 10% advantage on Blinn across the board. Blinn have a shockingly low cast score throughout the entirety of it. So I'm wondering if that's just because Blinn in the upper bracket were so dominant that they felt like they could just take a bunch of individual fights and, win it. Or if there's something a little bit more, something deeper going on there.
Yeah, I know, knowing Blinn, having seen and cast Blinn for a fair bit at this point, it kind of smells a lot of them just being confident in those 1v1s.
Yeah,
and they should
what I
be.
have to assume.
It's definitely where a lot of their strength lies, but nevertheless, I don't think that's something that's really going to get you through against a team like OC. I think both teams need to step up in that regard, right? You need players like Entry, Instinct, and Glyph to come in and hit those shots that you expect them to and have those on days, but at the same time, on the other side, you expect Blinn to maybe have done their homework a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to take a look at Glyph specifically, right? Because Glyph yesterday was a player who, when Glyph was succeeding, OC were succeeding, right? We saw on that last map when he picked up the Viper on Icebox and was able to pull off those lurks, got into Tamu's head. It was insane, right? The way that he was able to manipulate the map, and yes, technically has a little bit lower of a cast from the rest of his team, but that's just because he's picking up so much value on these lurks. That being said, he's got to be on agents that allow him to lurk. The Cypher, the Viper. When he's on the Killjoy, it's not that he can't lurk. It's just more difficult for him to do, right? You're locked into your utility by the proximity of the alarm bot and the turret, right? It's harder for him to find value. And that's where Instinct was picking up some of that value yesterday on those lurks. But I'm really watching for Glyph here today.
Looking for Glyph as we head into map number 1. It's going to be Haven to open things up. We saw the bans come through. I believe it was, Lotus and Fracture to keep out of the map pool. The Lotus ban, at first surprising until you realize that the last time these two teams met, it was a stark victory for OC, unlike the other two maps, which definitely went the way of Blinn. So they got that out of the way, got the uncomfy map and Fracture out of the way. That leads us to Haven, somewhere where I would argue OC struggled a bit yesterday to take control of the game tactically.
And they struggled against Blinn in that quarterfinal as well. This is a map that OC lost. It was narrow, 13-11. So you have to assume Oklahoma have dissected Blinn's strategy here more so. It is mirror compositions that both just run in the Haven standard for this map. And it seems we have a pause of sorts.
That's no problem. Let's talk about these comps a little bit because you brought it up. Glyph on the Killjoy definitely isn't able to find the impact that he is when he's playing the Viper or the Cypher because those alerts are a little bit less potent. But yesterday what we saw was Instinct step up big time on the Omen to start pushing out C and mid respectively and take a lot more of that map control. It wasn't quite as effective as when Glyph was doing it. Glyph seems to have just that that third eye, that extra sense of when and where to push. But nevertheless, when that pressure was applied, even getting the other team to check it out and putting that pressure across the map was helping out OC.
Yeah, exactly. But Blinn do get the added benefit, right, that they get to just watch yesterday's series, right? So while Instinct was doing a phenomenal job yesterday, I worry that it's going to be even more difficult for Instinct to find that same sort of solo value today, especially when we were talking about Blinn who, as a team who theoretically like to take a lot of those individual fights.
That they will. Looks like we're starting out with a pretty swift round by OC. Eyeballing up A with 3 frenzies in tow. A lot of bullets are about to be thrown the way of Blinn College, and Shy might be on the receiving end. Shot connects right for the opener. Still, double dip. Maybe this was a bit too greedy. Fingers caught in the cookie jar. Entry picks them off, and now OC with the barrel forward.
Nice shot dart there. It was good spam. Multiple members low. Are able to Blinn are just tunneling into the site.
Last player standing.
Smoke, and that makes it so Instinct
Spike planted.
Up. And so I'll let them Momiji. These players all have 50, even if he gets clipped there. There were 2 more angles for him to worry about. OC with a strong start.
Yeah, I mean, I think the overextension by Shy really hurt them there. Imagine, Shy gets back, that shock dart connects from Spaz, all of a sudden you've got a 50-50 with the Jet and the Sova, and it's really, really, really hard to push, but because it shook out how it did, because they lost that extra man on A early, ends up being an OC win. OC now, we saw it yesterday, pretty good for pistols early on in the series, fell off a bit later, but they'll get their weapons regardless. With an Instinct, as well as Entry, picking up some higher firepower as well, looking to get ultimates up and running. Much more default look, though, is they just control mid early.
And that's why Blinn has had a pretty standard in that position over in A lane. OC, I love this strategy.
Spike
I love
planted.
taking A lanes on anti. Do we need to clear? Okay, there we go. They're lucky peeking.
Last player standing.
Pretty ouchy for Nico, but instead it'll be flawless for OC. Moving into our round number 3, they will get a very healthy balance.
I like what we've gotten, though, and that is concise rounds from OC thus far. Something that we were severely lacking yesterday with some of their heavier-handed rotate Palooza rounds in the match against TAMU. This much more straightforward to start things out, setting the tempo of the match. Now, though, Blinn College does pick up weapons in their hands. The setup doesn't really change them. They're going to stick to what they think works, and I agree. I don't think it's too late to make swaps later on.
I mean, it's a very good defensive setup. It is very predictable, though, right? Like, this is just what every team runs on their defensive haven to start off. Doesn't stop Shy. Already good for Glyph. And you have to funnel out of Sewer now. This is tough.
I love this setup as well, with the breach coming in from spawn as well. Catches the peak timing against the Omen. Spots Instinct crossing. Instinct forced to teleport out. Really good stuff. I love that Shy and Spaz held down A long, knowing full well that breach was going to be there to set up the crossfire.
I love Blinn's rotations too. 4 players on A. They're not baited off by the cutting of noise here by OC. A lot of teams, they would rotate 2-3 players away from A, expect a long rotate, but they trust Momiji, Blinn. They trust their Killjoy to pick up info on the rest of the map. Momiji's watching mid. His alarm bot's got C, so you can keep 4 players A.
I mean,
Last player standing.
Jover for sure. Yeah, Instinct down. Saint next to go. Blinn College, well, playing relatively safe. Saint picks up 2 in the meantime, but I don't think it's going to do nearly enough damage to really matter. Yeah, I think the big thing there for Blinn is just the consistency. A lot of time we see Blinn in those situations get a little too big for their britches. Overheat a touch when they have advantages that can be layered on by just stepping into position, putting numbers on a site, and playing rotate if you need to.
And they're given a really favorable position too, right? Like the funnel out of Sewer is just, it's not really playable in that situation, especially on a bonus round. I mean, it is a bonus, so go for it, OC. It's fine. A lot of A pressure from OC thus far. This is 4 rounds in a row they're going A to start this game off.
Blinn aren't buying this either. They're sending a breach. Okay, maybe a bit more. Towards the other side of the map, going to spread out because they have all of that Killjoy util over on C. They have the luxury of being able to play it loose if they want to, and they will. just taking the retake opportunity. Blinn College now have basically everything to go in, but I mean, OC didn't spend much getting here.
And Teague's already used both his flashes. Only the fault line is going to be available for this. I don't think Spaz is going to have a second rotation recon dart anytime soon either. So this is a really tough retake, even though it's 5v5.
Shy for the entry. Great drop, but OC shut it down. Players coming out of every nook and cranny on A. Put a stop to this Teague. The last player didn't quite catch the train onto site.
Who could have predicted this?
Be down.
All right.
Quicker than you could say his name. Glyph cleans it up. OC, a very nice round. I love the wherewithal to hold on to the abilities there. They used the Rolling Thunder to get on the site, but honestly, like almost nothing else. And like you said, the early usage of util by Blinn in that round meant that they had nothing to walk in here. Just got mowed down.
Yeah, it's a brutal situation, right? I mean, Paranoia and Fault Line is not bad for a retake, but it's not enough at this point in Valorant. Like 2 years ago, you would have been singing with just those two abilities. But teams know you especially when you have 5 players alive for OC, you gotta have people out over towards sewer or over toward long, right? So you're never gonna catch everybody. And even though people get blinded in hell there, it's so easy for OC to cover them with crossfires. Now it's just a Sheriff Eco for Blinn. Not a great start for our Spaz, our top fragger for Blinn.
Yeah, we saw yesterday the struggle for OC was not in tradability, was not in their takes. It was kind of just in the strats. I mean, Tamu was calling a fantastic game defensively.
Yeah.
Blinn College is offering them some fairly standard setups, but this is the first time we've seen them really shift. 3 players over towards this C site. If OC walk into it, it'd be fantastic. Of course, it is an eco round, so those gambles are a little bit more likely to be prevalent. Blinn College recognize maybe there's an opportunity and start to shift that way.
Based on these first few rounds, too, OC, like, this is just night and day compared to yesterday, right? In terms of pace, in terms of, we talked about it on map 4, decisiveness, right? When OC are decisive, when they know exactly what they want to do, it looks great, but when they wish-wash around a map, they flounder. Yesterday, I feel like OC were worried about that like classic TAMU aggression and those TAMU pushes coming out, whereas today OC have been very confident in moving toward one side of the map or the other based on the info they get.
Yeah. Look at this post plant as well. Very nice. Crossfire from Instinct and Glyph. This will shut down those 2 sheriffs with ease. I like to follow timing. Spots town. Flash goes out. They smell the second player as well. It's Teague down to Glyph. Beautiful. God, these are extremely clean rounds. Like you said, decisive is definitely the word of the day for them. They did their homework. I mean, you've talked to Entry about how they react to losing games to teams like Blinn, right? They started reworking everything, thinking about how they went. And we talked about it yesterday. OC, I think, expected to beat TAMU in a more decisive fashion than they did.
Certainly.
And seeing as they did not get the scorelines that they were expecting to, I can almost guarantee that they were coming into today having done a little bit of extra research in VOD review last night to clean up these maps that they looked shakier on.
And now the question is how did Blinn adjust, right? Because this probably isn't the pace, this probably isn't the style you were expecting from OC Esports coming into this match, which is why we can sort of forgive these first 5 rounds. But if you lose this gun round, you're pretty done for. Shy's picking up an op and gonna go to the classic collegiate jet position in sewer. But the takes on the other side of the map, finally OC switch it up and go C.
At the right time as well. Town of Momiji around like a sack of potatoes. I suppose 2 sacks of potatoes. Just carry out as well.
Nice.
Does catch Saint. This evens out the numbers a bit. Isn't enough. He coming in from garage. The rest of the team looking towards spawn.
Spike planted.
Don't really have many angles to push in on here.
And you have an op for the retake into a lockdown. At
Full
least
util
there's
for
flashes
Teague.
available, but I mean, the fault line will come back up. Oh, well, no, it won't come back up now. Honestly, you're saving here if you can. Spaz might struggle to do so, but like you want to keep this off for the next round.
Take a couple of bodies with you, but I don't think it's going to mean too much considering the economy of OC has already been bolstered. High hell. Blinn College get out with a couple of rifles, an operator in hand, but a sorely missed point on the board as the 5th round goes away. That's the 3rd gun round I believe they've had in their hands, and all of them have been decisive OC victories.
Yeah, I mean, other than the one bonus round where OC floundered out of sewer, everything has been OC favored, and it's not even been particularly close rounds so far. OC just have them downloaded. They have Blinn downloaded. Everything Blinn wants to do, OC have the read. The fact that the op gets picked up and goes to A because OC have been conditioning Blinn to expect such heavy A pressure. And look, the op's going back to A because Blinn are like, okay, well, they went C last round. Surely they'll try A again. And OC just aren't biting. They don't want anything to do with this operator.
Get out of my way.
And it's gonna have to be it's gonna be a full retake on C. There's nothing you can do to stop this.
There's no big retake tools either. They're off from the Rolling Thunder. They do manage to at least disengage this time, so they get out without losing a member to that Momiji push that has been pretty deadly.
Spike planted.
Not much space being taken by Blinn either, though. They're not pressuring for like a C long flank. Really, again, it's just gonna be those 2 flashes of paranoia and maybe a late rotation recon dart if you're lucky.
Got everything to push back in. Entry down first. Eli is able to find the first pick. Out of garage they roll. Water falling through, but again, still only 2 angles to work with here. And OC have the both shut down, confident that there's nothing behind them because nothing has threatened the Killjoy utility that's watching their backs.
OC just look next level right now in comparison, right? I have to wonder. I mean, Blinn, I'm not sure how much warm-up time they got because apparently they were. I don't know how this got resolved, but allegedly they were maybe locked out of their facility for a second or two. I don't know what happened there, but it just looks too standard. You know what I mean? It looks too. It feels like Blinn are riding the momentum of the ease they had through the upper bracket. Like Ottawa, they didn't struggle. TAMU, they didn't struggle. It was 2-0, 3-0, right? But OC, you gotta put some respect on their name.
Shy clearly not doing that. Pushing up very early. Wants to get something a little cheesier here. As the weapons aren't necessarily favoring Blinn, so plays need to be made if you want to round by 2. Shy steps forward against the drone. Beat out by instinct. In fact, that's 2 players. Straight up. Granted, there's a weapon disadvantage there, but good stuff by instinct.
And OC's super ready for an aggressive push off an eco, right? They know the blade's running up, and they expect that to come through. Glyph trying to hop away from the Bucky there, but yeah, you're just gonna get spammed through the wall. Nice shot from town, at least. Nice shot from town, at least. Not an unwinnable round. Especially with the Killjoy down, there's room for Teague on the flank.
And you're not picking up any of those weapons. Blinding. So their Teague on the flank does offer up a threat, and they've never seen anything come through on the flank yet. That's a big weapon. They peek just in time. Oh, the spray's everywhere.
Standing.
Eli on the other side as well is able to take down the one-on-one on town who has that lesser weaponry. Now is Teague walking in. Granted, low HP on Saint, but this is only half as well. Now they're set up for the double swing. This is done for.
Oh, spam had hit. Oh, if that spam had hit, I feel like Teague would have had it. At least, there we go. We're at least getting flashes of the Blinn we expect now, right? At least
it only took a town 2K with the sheriff, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like that's an uncharacteristic whiff from Shy.
Agreed.
One more gun round, one more chance, and great tools for this gun round. Lockdown, Rolling Thunder. They're going to need them, too. I think Blinn has planted almost every single round. What, 7 out of 8 rounds? Blinn has planted, I'm pretty sure. We've been playing a lot of post plants thus far, and Blinn have had very little success with them. They need to get more before OC gets to the site. So I'm glad to see that Teague and Shy are doubling up here in sewer.
That operator misses wide again.
Shy's off his game.
It's not as clean as you expect to be as well. I mean, we talked about the difference in Jet players. Shy definitely somebody who wants an operator in his hand, as opposed to being that hard entry Jet, and yet still
out of charges.
Not getting what you need him to.
There's
now the
some
pressure
raise.
shifts towards mid. OC look to bisect the map. Blinn College don't have much of a response. Oh, they bait the lockdown too.
Lockdown here. That's going to force them into Spaz. Can Spaz hold the line or at least use shock darts to get some sort of cheeky damage or a kill? They know. They know. They're looking for him in heaven. There we go.
Take flight.
Nice little owl drone here too. That's going to delay the plant, buy time for these rotates. The plant will come down to 3v2. Shock dart. Man, it doesn't quite get the tag. This should by all rights be Blinn. Yeah, I mean, surely they win this.
There they are.
One enemy remaining.
They know exactly where he is. a clinical shot onto Spaz. It's just moving. For the bait, but Eli's on the off angle. A massive clutch for OC. A dooming caster curse for Blinn College. And another round in the tank in the first map of Grand Finals.
You know, I'm not even sure I'm going to take that. I'm not even sure that one's on me, dude. Eli with an insane little micro swing. Like, this was great from Spaz, right? Reading that Glyph is going to push him, using the recon dart to clear things out. Look at this last little swing from Eli. How do you react to that? There's no way you can trade that. There's no way you can deal with that.
That one really stings for Blinn.
Just as they were heating up.
Just getting going. Now they're pushing everything. Literally everything. I mean, we're starting to get forward in Garage. A-Long. Sewers got peeked for a second there. All very centralized positions. I think they want to be able to rotate at a whim given the closer range of their weapons, but already not going great for them. Shy gets picked off by Instinct. OC seemingly just waiting for Blinn College to feed themselves to them.
And this is what I was worried about with when we talked at the top of the show, the cast score, right? For not just Blinn, but Shy specifically. It's super low. No trades there. Now Rolling Thunder clears out C. Ooh, Teek's here pretty early. They gotta respect him.
And they do respect that shotgun, but you can just back off if you need
flank.
to. They're waiting for the flank from Garage. Look at this bait from Entry. Yeah, finally gets in. The right click connects. Teague down.
Spaz only has a Spectre.
Spaz has no clue. I'm actually little ships in the night moment here. That's okay. Instinct picks it up. OC up to 9. This is not the start of the Grand Finals that we were expecting at all. We knew Blinn College was coming in with firepower, and obviously OC, right? Those high cast scores, this and the other, better trades. You can talk all day about how OC were supposed to be able to beat Blinn here, and the matter in which, but I don't think Blinn's offered up to us the gunplay that we're used to getting from them at the same time. It's been a very slow morning for them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, as an analyst, you hate to be like, well, Blinn are just missing their shots. But that...
Usually, Blinn are used to winning by hitting their shots. So if they're losing, something's going wrong in that.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, like, Shy is 4 and 8. He's about to die right here. it's
Instinct has had
now,
Shy's number.
Instinct has had Shy's number. That's probably the 4th or 5th time that Instinct himself has taken down Shy.
It might be more than that.
And I think this is where we can move. Like yesterday, we talked about Instinct and like what was looking like lurks yesterday. I think at this point we call it containment, right? Instinct's good at containing players and getting a lot of solo information on sides of the map, right? Like it's not necessarily like a traditional flank type of lurk.
No, just applying a little bit of pressure, just enough to squeeze them out of their little ratty holes and
preventing Blinn or Tamu from getting value from these solo pushes on sides of the map. I mean, that was a
flick.
Insane shot from
kind of
Spaz.
Stupid, yeah. With the airstrike,
he's not getting a KHS clutch from yesterday, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, it would have taken something miraculous. It's crazy, though. I mean, Paulus casters, you know if we start talking over rounds like this, that they're very
it feels done.
From
it
one
feels
side.
like we're done with map 1.
Like,
we are hardly 20 minutes into map 1.
The rounds have been so quick as well. We talked about OC being decisive in their strat choices. They have been exactly that. Quick rounds, early picks, acting off them swiftly, not changing the game plan for no reason as well. 10-1 the scoreline. That last round was Blinn College with rifles in their hands, and it felt like they were tickling the chins of OC.
It's the last round of the half now. Surely the Rolling Thunder and the Hunter's Fury have to get some value here, right? Surely Spaz doesn't just die to a fight with Instinct. Okay, good. Aldron at least threatens him.
What? What on earth?
That, you know, I love that play. I love it!
Giga
Oh
Chad.
my god.
Oh my god. Who does that?
He knows. He knows that Blinn are not playing together right now. He knows that nobody is going to be there to support Spaz. That Teague's not going to be in position. That Shy's fighting A-Long. He knows he could go for that. Instinct is playing out of his mind right now.
Absolutely. OC have also just put the fear of God into BC, it seems. 5 though is not 5v2. A little bit less so. Team's gonna go for it, throwing a Rolling Thunder for the last round of the half. Does get one in heaven. 4 more players. I suppose we can start counting at this point. It's gonna start and stop at 0. As Teague's picked off 11-1.
You could have told me a lot of score lines for this first half, and I would have believed you. I never would have believed that we would see 11-1.
I was expecting anything
either
from close to like Blinn maybe taking a slight advantage, you know? But this was not in the books.
And this is where I have to commend OC Esports for all that work that they told us they did after they lost to Blinn. They said, we restructured everything. We restructured our comms. Yesterday, we were doubting it a little bit against TAMU, especially on Haven, which was 14-12. I think I figured it out. I think they just like adjusted their style to specifically counter Blinn.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of that. Also, a little bit of, I have to give TAMU a ton of credit. Like, that was one of the best tactical showings we have ever seen from TAMU. So, pass to them. Blinn College, though, could use a little bit of that tactical magic right about now. They do swap over to the attacking side. Maybe that gives them something here, but they certainly need this pistol round. Eli smells this heavy-handed push as well. He's going to get right out of dodge.
Blinn told us in fall that winning wasn't enough. They demand perfection of themselves. Guys, you got to win a round before we talk about perfection. Let's be real.
You do get the take. OC opts for the retake. A little bit of util, but given that it's pistol, they're not going to have as much as they might want. BC didn't hold anything on their entry, though. Pick up one more smoke for Town, but I don't think he can throw it out before this retake comes in. OC now in position. Shots raining through, and it's already good for Blinn. Post plant, fantastic. Very clean stuff. Of course, retaking on pistol, a little bit more difficult because you lack that utility, but at least Blinn College are making that round look easy. Omiji taking a little bit of something out on that course, but that's okay. I think you're warranted that right about now.
Look, you need that. You need that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. A solid swarm onto the A site there from Blinn. It is a pistol that they desperately needed, but they're far from back in this map. Entry even, like, pseudo-forcing onto the Stinger here on defense after losing. It's bold. Although he could just tuck in sewer, actually, and make this expensive for Blinn. I don't hate this, especially with Eli covering for him, taking contact, presumably breaking this drone if it comes from Spaz.
This is one of those nice little pistol round plays, or rather eco round plays. Just gives some value. Steps forward, dives in past the drone. Maybe overcook that strategy just a little bit. Eli though is able to get one. And again, you look towards the gunplay of Blinn College. It has not been what you really expect of them in a lot of these situations. They are known to at least in the South, be probably the most dominant team in terms of just raw aim. We've gotten really not that today. OC as well are stepping up big time in that regard. I've got to give a lot of credit to Saint and Instinct who have, I mean, just been on a tear when it comes to taking off heads.
I'm not giving credit to Saint when he was hiding behind default box with a shorty for the plant.
not a glorious round for him, but no shame in that. We've all got to rat out every once in a while.
But this is where, you know, when we have really dominant halves, like 10-2s, 11-1s, right? Even when the losing team picks up the pistol of the second half, it's always that third round that you look to, like, oh no, what's going to happen here? Do Blinn buy up? Do they try to play a bonus and get greedy with their economy? Possibly have to play for 9 rounds in a row? But if they lose here, which, like, mathematically they would because they're not going to have a full gun round, then things get really difficult for them as well. Like, it's a no good option sort of scenario. Very much a Kobayashi Maru of a round, although you start out with some good trades, you'll take that.
College has an ace here on their attacking side. Shy about peeking. Try to swing it wider. Eli a little bit wiser than that, but still managed to get the pick off with the help of the Silva. To back off A as well. I think this is actually a smart bit of pace change from Blinn College. OC definitely weirded out by the change in texture of the round. Now it's Killjoy versus Killjoy, though, as one pushes up sewer. They expect this player to probably. They don't. Glyph has crept in on the A side. The number's a lot more even. 2v3 is not unwinnable here.
One enemy remaining.
Now it's just one, though. It's just Instinct.
Spike planted.
Yeah, and Town will catch him as he falls. This round is the first where I've actually felt good about Blinn. I'll be honest. And it's because of that little toggle between Shy and Town. The way that Shy peeks when they're fighting Eli in A long, the way that Shy peeks out of the smoke but doesn't commit to the fight, and then Town is the one, once they have the information on where Eli's standing, he swings out. That's the sort of teamwork that was completely absent. That was void on Blaine's defense. Now, OCE are taking a timeout. A team that doesn't take very many timeouts, mind you.
Oh.
Blaine,
Yeah, I'm
still
weirded out
yet
by
to
this.
see one.
We've seen OC go, I mean, some of the most intense maps and series without ever taking a pause. And they're taking a pause a couple rounds into stacking half. And I actually, again, I'm a fan of this. I love it when OC take pauses. They don't often, but when they do, they seem to be pretty impactful.
And now the question is how do Blaine keep up this tempo? Because much like OC did on their attacking half, they've spent a lot of time toward A thus far. So as OC are in this timeout, what do they think is going to be the attempted switch up for Blaine? Are they going to play a default? Are they going to hard commit towards C? It's been very execute heavy in these first few rounds, but it is the first few rounds of a half. You can be execute heavy because, especially when you win the pistol, there's not much stopping you from snowballing onto sites.
I don't think it's necessarily a major shift you need, and it will change up at least a little bit, sending 3 players towards A here. I think it's more just small plays, right? Decision-making moments in the forward moments of the round, right? As opposed to disengaging and trying to hold sight. They're either disengaging fully off of sight or trying to take early engagements. I think trying to hold sights on sites might be a little bit more prevalent for them because this early util is being used so much by Blaine College. Oh no! And their positioning is not rewarded. 3-man
waking up.
Work.
Guy's waking up here. You could tell the way he tracks the head through the dash through the smoke. Shy needed a warm up. Okay, I was a little worried about the first half. Now at least mechanically, I'm not worried about Blaine anymore.
Here.
And I mean, let's look ahead to the next round, right? Rolling Thunder available for Blaine? That's great. But how do they secure value out of it, right? OC, sure, they took a timeout, but this is an eco. The timeout was never for this round. It was for the next gun round.
One enemy remaining.
Like I said, the next gun round I really would like to see punctuated with a few more measured decisions. We're seeing very binary choices being made by OC on their defending side, right? It's either everybody's backing off or playing full retake, or we're trying to cheese them out and pick up a few early kills and diving forward. If we can find that middle ground, back up, buy time for rotates, I think that's something that Blaine College can, or rather OC can play particularly well to, especially when they're able to get those bodies there and count more on that ability to trade one another out.
It is a misread from OC, though. They expect the ping pong. They expect the C play. Eli is completely alone over on A. And Blaine, they're just not... Don't fix what ain't broken. The A takes have been working. This is an adjustment, though. Entry is coming in on the flank. Rolling Thunder will clear out the site. It will be a full 5v5 retake. No stall like you were hoping for, Door. And Entry does... I mean... Actually, wait. He doesn't get... Okay, Momiju takes care of him. Now it's 4v5. You're missing your jet. This ain't easy.
Yeah, Teague still got both flashes, too. I actually think it's really hard to rotate. No? Teague didn't get the flash off. At least it didn't look like it. Might have gotten caught in the smoke either way. It's extremely ineffective in securing the position for Blaine College. Still yet, they've got a chance. 2 players in sewer, and that advantage they garnered this one earlier is going to make this a lot easier. Shy takes down the final member. Make sure that plank goes through and puts Blaine College up another round. It is still a long road ahead to making sure OC don't take this map. But they have paved the path thus far and show no signs of stopping.
It's worth noting, last time these two teams played, Lynn's better half was by far their attacking half, where they picked up 9 rounds on it. Now, they'll need more than 9 to win this or extend it to overtime at the very least. And really, I mean, here they just leave Town and Teague as martyrs, right? Town and Teague, they're just there to stall because they know there's no entry, there's no jet to dash hard on the site. You don't have to commit to like a really forward post-plant position in graffiti. Not half bad. And then another little bit of a misread. Oh, so you're like, fine, if you're going to keep going A, we'll use the Hunter's Fury early round. But this time they're storming Garage and Glib, whoa, okay, at least trades himself out.
Everything's had to be so reactive for OC. You'd think with 50-50 odds between C and A, they'd get it right one time, but it's just not been it. BC have the soul read on them.
Planted.
Not sure it's changing anytime soon. 4v3 now, post plant. OC want to save this. I mean, it's not really particularly expensive weapon in their hands, but
it's done.
retaking such a long-range sight also doesn't seem
One
possible.
enemy remaining.
Try. The flashes come out, but there's no coordination in this retake.
The way both of our teams, when they're on the attack, have conditioned the defenders so heavily to the A site in the early rounds. It's funny because they're both doing, like, they both did the same thing, just with slightly different alterations on when exactly they go to C. But that A site conditioning has been massive for Blinn. Because now that Blinn have actually pulled the trigger on C once, they funneled through Garage, now all of that conditioning goes out the window, but it can't go out the window because OC haven't won a single round toward A. So they need to keep stacking A. Look, they're going to do it in this round. This is the right call finally. Is this where OC strike?
That's a really scary part about playing College's position is that OC can
Rolling
gamble stack
Thunder?
5 on both sites every single round.
That Rolling Thunder was so early from Saint. No one was in position to follow up on it. I mean, it gets a lot of good map control at least.
I think you're okay with that. This is still good. This is good for OC. They don't have much of a disengage without that dash, so entry I would like to see either take up a more tradable position or something more passive. This is pretty alright. But they heard entry dash forward earlier. Yeah.
Eli missed
this is
the
not
owl
fruitful.
drone too.
Grenade out.
Did they recognize is the opportunity? Blinn College is going to go for the plant. What? Oh my! Wow, that's a rough way to go. The late Nano Swarm proc.
You can't commit to B anymore.
At least Momiji got the spike out of it though. They did manage to.
Instinct.
Big one now to flank from Instinct. Good for 2! OC trying to get on the board in their defending half. They only need 2 rounds. Instinct's looking to gift them the first. Teague finds entry on the wrong side of mid, and all of a sudden it's falling apart. If it ain't A, if it ain't C, it ain't for me, it seems, is BC.
30 seconds
They
left.
have met their match finally on this attacking half. Shot on entry as well. Momiji making a mess of things in mid, but does manage to clean it up eventually. Down to 21 HP though versus 3 players. This is, again, the dangerous part. I mean, Blinn College had to be perfect. Because now, I mean, this is match point. They can...
Okay, there we go. I knew where it was.
10 seconds left.
Anything just keeps going wrong for them, man. It is 1 round. There is no room for any error. And honestly, error doesn't even have to be error. It could just be Instinct making a play against you like this round was.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been waiting to see from OC, right? I question the Rolling Thunder a little bit, but the fact that it's coupled with a late lurk, a late push up C from Instinct. Recall, again, yesterday this guy was dominating C long. His pushes up C were what gave OC such a strong defense yesterday against TAMU and brought them back into the game. So Instinct finally getting some of that C long control, some of that pressure in the late round, coupled with all that info that was garnered toward A. And the Nano Swarm lockdown toward B, that was an omnipresent round from OC Esports. And they've read into this A play so heavily. 4 players this time.
Everyone's here. The teleport across, it's sewers pressure, it's long pressure. And here's the thing. Blinn College have been spending to attack long or sewer. This time they have to make a choice.
Oof.
And it seems that they just get nothing out of it. The stack from OC wins the round 13-7, the scoreline. And I'm going to be honest, Paul, I have got a major takeaway from this in that Instinct's that guy. We don't award man of the match that often on this stream or like man of anything, right? I would like to formally award a man of the map award to Instinct. Holy cow, what a performance on the Omen. And granted, it was a quiet second half, but he wasn't on the site that was being taken for like 90% of those rounds. So what do you want?
And I mean, the first half was all Instinct shutting down Shy, right?
Exactly.
Like, the dude contained Shy so intensely over toward A, and then absolutely dominated him in the 1v1. You don't necessarily expect that as Shy, as the entry player, right? And I would have been more okay with Shy dying so often if Spaz and Teague were playing closer to him, right? Like, there was utility support for a lot of those A long plays on the defense for Blinn, but there wasn't gun support. There wasn't firepower behind Shy other than him. So when he loses that trade, or even when he traded himself out, right? Even on a 1-for-1, that's still better for OC 99% of the time. And then OC, of course, tactically on their attack just looked so sound, right? They were very decisive on their executes. They completely bamboozled Blinn with the A conditioning and then going over towards C. What a map from OC. I do think some of it was Blinn, like, warming up and getting into the groove because they looked much better and better the longer this, like, series went. Or the longer this map went, I should say. And the fact that, I mean, like, look at that, right? Shy never misses that. Shy never misses that if he's warmed up, dude. At least hits a body there or something.
There's a little bit of copium to it, but like you're right. Like
little
College
bit,
are
but it's
not
not, like,
performing to the
outrageous.
level that we normally would expect them to. That being said, I think if they started off this way, I'm still not sure they win the game. I think the attacking side was a lot better for them tactically. Like the defending side just got ran around a little bit. OC had struggles of their own, but they struggled yesterday on Haven as well. So I think honestly,
Like,
OC, regardless of the scoreline, are happy to get out of Haven with a win after their past 2 showings on it. Granted, one of those against Blinn, they took away, but barely, and then yesterday they took away, but barely. They're just happy to get it over with.
I think Blinn are getting used to playing someone they have to respect again, right? Like, you saw the way Town challenged C Long there. He spotted 3 players and then went for the repeat. You don't do that against OC Esports, right? I mean, look at those post plants, right?
Spike went down
11
a
of
lot
11.
this game.
Jeez. Yeah, we played 20 rounds and the spike got planted, and the team who planted won in 17 of the 20 rounds.
Yeah, ridiculous
Crazy.
numbers from both sides. But it ends with an OC win, which is maybe not how Blinn wanted this thing to start going, but OC, like you said, they've revamped. They've done their homework. I think this is a very deserved first map win. Things are likely to change, though, in the upcoming maps, and Blinn better hope they do, because remember, they got those first 2 bans. They had a massive advantage towards the beginning of the series, but the later on it goes, the more you get into that OC map pool.
This first map was the OC pick, though, so this is the map that OC were most confident about out of the 5 that were going to be available in this series. So I'm not super concerned for Blinn yet. If they have a bad performance on Icebox, our map number 2, yeah, there's our map set, by the way. Pay no attention to the fact that it says OC have banned Lotus. That's just a graphical error. Blinn get both bans because they come from the upper bracket. So they ban Fracture, which they don't like to play, and then Lotus, which OC have a great Lotus. So no surprises there. Icebox is going to be the make or break, right? OC won it yesterday against TAMU, but Blinn, this is one of their favorite maps. This is one of their best maps, and one where they play a really cool modern composition on. So as long as Blinn bring it back on Icebox, I'm not worried about them. But if we somehow end up after Icebox with an OC 2-0, the series might be over.
It might just be they're looking for that knockout blow. We'll see if they get it. Just a bit. Send you guys to a break. Welcome back to our Down South Grand Finals. I've got myself a little bit of sweet tea. Very appropriate for such a broadcast, as
That's
we are
true.
bringing plenty of gameplay thus far. 1-0 right now in favor of OCs, and a strong showing at that.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, this was not the same OC that we got. Today, they come in decisive, confident, not just beating out Blinn tactically, but also out gunplaying them. You're seeing the same people frag out as yesterday. I mean, we saw a fair bit of entry, doing a fantastic job pushing in. The trades were fantastic, but Instinct showing up as well. I think when you start seeing a roster of 5 like this start to really all flow, that's when you expect them to do well.
I mean, you know, you talk about sweet tea, making it even more topical because both these teams are. Oh wait, no, Oklahoma, not from Texas, but it's still we get like some, you know, some solid Southern barbecue on this first map. Blinn were cooked the second they stepped onto Haven. You can see right there, Instinct, like you said, our man of the map. Insane performance. And shutting down Shy, who still was the top performer on Blinn technically, statistically, but wasn't getting anything done, right? Especially on their defense, was just constantly getting checked at that A lobby, A door, A sewer, A long, A anywhere. Instinct had his number.
Yeah, and it wasn't just Shy. We have to be very clear. Like,
That's true.
Instinct was just beating everyone on BC in terms of aim. And again, we talk about Instinct sometimes with that regard of being somebody on that team that can frag. But man, what a performance! Heading into Icebox now, we're looking for big things out of Instinct yet again. But also, I think he's gonna have a little bit of help. Glyph tends to show up here big time.
That's what I was going to bring up, right? It's cool that Instinct performed so well on Haven, because that's one of the maps where Glyph, the other like top performer on OC, picks up the Killjoy and is regimented a little bit more. It doesn't quite get to play that same style that we see Glyph frag out on. We talked about him at the top of the show. The lurks coming through from Glyph are always phenomenal. They create so many problems for defensive teams. So definitely going to be watching for that from Glyph on Icebox. That being said, as we take a look at our maps, Icebox, our map number 2, this is going to be just theoretically a phenomenal map for Blinn, right? Statistically, it's really good for them, and I like their comp here way better than I like OC's composition. It's much more new age. It's one of the innovative compositions, right? The thing about Icebox is it's hitting the bench pretty soon here. We get one of the last Icebox plays before it goes back into the shop and the devs work on making it less regimented, less, okay, you execute A, post plan A, execute B, post plan B. Like, that's all Icebox has been for the entirety of Icebox's history, right? But in this last, like, month or two, we've seen some innovation out of VCT teams, bringing in both the Harbor and the Viper, and that's the composition that Blinn like to play on this map. So I'm excited to see if they are able to perform with it as well as a lot of, like, those VCT teams are. You know, you get so much map control, you can more effectively lurk, for one. You can actually play through B, or like mid to B, with the Harbor Viper, because you have so much vision control. It's a phenomenal composition.
Yeah, and it was something that Tammy brought yesterday. Okay, with an asterisk on Icebox, they brought it on Pearl, and it looked phenomenal. I mean, seriously, OC were really struggling against it. They brought it on Icebox, and it just looked like they hadn't really practiced it on Icebox. They were kind of playing it on Icebox because it worked on Pearl kind of situation, so it was less clean. I'm expecting Blinn to kind of do the exact opposite. They have played it on Icebox. They know how to bring it, and on top of that, OC struggled against this composition yesterday. I am worried for OC. Like, this could very well be where the series evens out, and if OC don't have an answer to that, which, granted, like we said, they have done their homework probably more than any other team coming into this tournament. If they lost to it yesterday, they were probably studying up on it a bit today. There's a chance they bring in a completely different composition today, given their struggles against it yesterday, but I think given that they beat it out on Icebox, they're going to look to double down and try and beat what they could yesterday with the same composition.
And it's worth noting, too, that in the series in our quarterfinals in spring that Blinn and OC played, Blinn won Icebox 13-9. Well, they also won Haven. We just saw what happened to them on Haven. And OC, we know for a fact these guys were all but bragging about how much work they put in reviewing that series. So running this exact same composition, it's not going to be easy for Blinn. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And it seems like we have... Is that a bit of an adjustment No, they ran the double duelist yesterday, right? OC?
They
Yeah,
did,
because it was
and we
flashless.
were impressed at how slow it was.
Its attacking half was pretty rough.
Less than
yesterday.
less than lustrous to say.
Defense is great.
Defense was good.
And attacking half got there once Glyph was able to like condition for that kitchen play, but you already see the turret and the middle arm bot from town here. So I think Blinn are going to be pretty wise to Glyph's attempted lurks.
Yeah, Glyph. I mean, you bring up the lurks, but I think it's important to highlight just how they work because it works on every map. Glyph does them. We highlighted Ascent with Cypher here with Viper, but often ends up with almost a checkmate position, right? If you manage to bisect the map, get your players in a line down mid to their spawn, you effectively cut the team in half, and the 3 players on the half that you're not attacking might as well be dead. That's what Glyph can create sometimes if they find that positional advantage. So already, Blinn College are being very careful about that. Making sure it doesn't happen. Keeping plenty of defensive util down mid. Backing away on B here, actually, as well.
Yeah, Glyph's done.
Is Rotate going to come in time as well? I think this is going to be perfectly good. Momiji as well is going to pick one up early. Dropping on top of Glyph, takes away the smokes. Which, I mean, without the Viper, this becomes a lot harder of a C push. Granted, at least have more players to back it up here.
Oh, and when you spot Glyph, too, you know Glyph is the lurker. So you're not really worried about a rotate toward A, and this is why we see the rotate coming in from Shy now. Pretty deep position. Andrew just shoving all the way into orange.
Too far right about now. This is not Blinn College utilizing their utility advantage quite how we would normally want them to. In a 2v2. As lurking outside the orb. Eli pushes through. Momiji up top, low HP. Eli cleans it up though. OC pick up the first round, and like you said, react beautifully to Glyph being on the other side of the map. Utilize their utility advantage to come and try and make what they can out of a round that was going to be a rough one. Right? And this is where I look back towards what are the strengths of Blinn College, because normally taking out the smokes on the other side is like practically it. Right? Blinn have 2 smokes to try and push this through. You can let the plant through all you want, play retake. But they didn't really leverage that. They tried to still just leverage numbers and gunplay to get through the end of that round, and I think it could have been done a little bit more tactically.
It's also hard to leverage the like long-range fights and a smoke advantage on B in pistol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do really enjoy the way that Saint and Entry pushed so deep into orange, and then they play off of each other on a really nice cross. Ooh, hello, guys. I know you have better guns, OC. Might want to use them. Might want to shoot some bullets, guys. Maybe into the enemy. Just a thought.
Imagine getting flawless on your second round. What a way to go. This is definitely Blinn College, though. This is definitely one of those teams that we talk about that is lethal on any given round, not just ones where they have guns in their hands. Shy's
woken up.
Another on the board. And Saint is sitting here wondering where all his teammates went.
That was the light armor phantom for Entry. No respect for the fact that Blinn might buy sheriffs on the second round.
I got the spike.
Jeez. They might actually get flawless. I thought it was kind of a joke. I was like, surely a bulldog and a phantom will get at least one. Okay, that's one. One.
Flawless. Let's go. Okay. Oh, dude, that's rough. That's rough.
2-1 stolen? I mean, this is...
There
is no worster case scenario in a second round. Truly. Like, look at this shot from Shy. And the dash perfectly timed.
Yeah, we're starting to see sprinkles of the Blinn College we know. But I again will say I don't think that's what we got in the first map. OC are going to have to contend with that coming in now. Practically nothing for guns. They're going to try and buy up what they can, say, for next round. DC offer up plenty in their own regard now on defense. How do you get past this?
I mean, you don't. There's 2 players here. Maybe you can trade 3 for 2 and steal a gun away, but it's not going to be very easy. Even if they're able to do much. They just get chewed up in the meat grinder. Very easy third round. Second on the board for them. Third round of the half.
I don't hate this like fast call from OC. To be honest,
it's fine.
Just get in, I hate to be such a downer. Just like that's a round, especially post getting ecoed like that. Like you just got to get guns back in your hand. Get yourself reset. Love this timeout. They're going to try and utilize it early again.
Yeah, it's great.
OC seems to be, I don't want to use the word maturing as a team, but it definitely does seem that way. The timeouts show they matter. This time, I would like to see a small shift up in how they're playing on their attacking side. Utilize those smokes.
I think it's fair, too, to say that OC are maturing as a team. Keep in mind, you know, when we talk about, you know, teams like Blinn or, you know, TAMU, who have been together forever, right? These, you know, Blinn formed at the top of the year, right? Sure, they made some additions to their roster, but this OC roster is much newer. They've really only been together since mid-January, right? 3.5, 4 months at most. So it's perfectly fine for them to still be maturing, for them to learn when do we need to use these timeouts, when do we need to make adjustments, and that's what we see from the way that they do adjust. They adapt tactically. And in this round, it seems the adjustment is going to be they're going to play another slow default.
I don't think you need sweeping changes. OC is a team that, off their homework, off their own review of themselves, I think have a very good idea of how they like to play and what they like to do. It's small changes, but they know how to make just the right ones to get that small advantage they need.
Really aggressive
over
camp
here
there and be long.
Yeah, I mean, it was risky, but actually gave them a fantastic map position. I mean, Blinn College, look at how backed up they are. They have no clue where this push is coming from. The dog out over on the A side is going to pull a rotate, but I think they're still lacking in communication. Yeah, they're going to group up in mid and just play off what they can find, but they know they have nothing here. That dog spotted one person, but it doesn't really tell them anything. They still don't know where OC are.
You'd think, Shy has the op B. Surely, you know, he has the information. He has a Viper Wall B. He can't see through that. Okay, Eli getting spotted gives a little bit more actionable intel. And Momichi should be hearing a couple. The commitment to the recon dart is going to give away the gambit, but the timings! They didn't expect Blinn to be so close.
Spike play.
I mean, we saw OC play slow yesterday, and I mean, it was just resident sleeper round after resident sleeper round. This felt more like they were choking Blinn out. This is what they wanted to do yesterday.
Yeah.
Much better.
Town at least good for one. On Shy.
There's
no way he can save this either. Entry's got him wrapped. I mean, 3, 2, 1. Dead.
Holy, what a round from OC. A positional masterclass.
That was really well done.
And it was all because of that timeout.
Well, yeah, the timeout and the aggressive play. This is what you want to see from Entry and Instinct. If you're going to be running double duelist, throw them at people, right? Instinct and Entry swing out aggressively in B long. They catch Spaz with util out because Spaz is like, oh, well, OC have been playing so slow. There's no way I get caught standing in the middle of B long. Oh no, there's 2 players there. So he takes so much damage and has to fall off. It gets no information. There's no way to re-clear B that way. Now Shy is over there to support Spaz, which I like better. But still very playable. Okay, less playable now that Entry's been found.
That was a mean angle around the wall.
Poison's off.
And this is why a lot of teams are running the Harbor, right? You saw the Cascade just walk up. Another one now to threaten that Shy could be going even further. Shy's probably good for one more here.
Spike down B.
Does go down in their own right, though. It means that Blinn College are slowly bleeding out map control, but they've got enough numbers that it shouldn't be a problem. Just 2 players here left on an island at B.
Yeah, and Teague has trapped them in. So this time when the lurk is disposed of, Blinn rotate over and then send one player on the flank. They don't just hold the map control. And really nice spam there from Spaz. Great recovery by Blinn in that round.
Yeah, I mean, Spaz and Shy really the 2 players to highlight there, right? Shutting down that early aggression, stopping that map control from being really ripped away. I do think it was a clever play by Shy to get around that wall, though, early. It was a smart play to be there, but definitely a small slip up from OC in terms of perfect util usage and covering that wall angle that it's, like I said, a little bit hard to see coming, but definitely singular in its purpose.
And Shy doesn't work there every round,
Get out
right?
of my way.
No.
So you get your one off that. Oh, this is Bold! And Shy hits his shot.
Okay.
Teak does get found by the rocket, and Shy overheating a little bit, goes back up top for an op.
Placing swarm grenade.
Town at least with a quick rotate, managing to get here in time. Swings into the boom.
Holy.
What a maniac play. You deserve to lose that one, Town. I'm gonna be honest.
I like it. I like it. Look, I'm here for players getting custom with the strats.
Ultimate ready.
I think we'll pick one up as well. Brings the numbers closer to even.
Welcome to my world.
Good. Ball out. Spaz. Just needs that drop. Oh, wow. The timing on that one's abysmal. Throws the knives out. Spaz is in there.
Enemy remaining.
Can't find him. Saint sandwiches him on the other side. Maybe you take it out as well. Nicely done by OC to clean up that round.
Did you commit the Viper's Pit for that one? Viper's Pit,
okay with
I believe
that.
Showstopper and the Blade Storm too. I struggled there for a second. So that is 3 ults for OC to win that round. I want to take a look at Blin's economy. Is Blin still hanging on?
Was that a knockout punch? Yeah.
Yeah,
If it was, it was worth it. If it wasn't, you're maybe hoping you held on to one of those.
Yeah, okay. Blin are more. No, I mean with the Blade Storm, they're in this round.
Yeah, they're fine.
Lockdown
I think
is
it's
still
worth it if
available
the
for
round's
Saint.
dicey. Lockdown still up. Yeah, no, I'm here for OC. I think that's fine. It wasn't, obviously like to spend less ultimates, but you'd rather win rounds too. So.
And in this round, they have to full commit to A because Instinct doesn't have a real gun. He's got a judge, right? So you can't play Instinct on the B site. It just won't happen. That being said, they don't like what they see on A, and they try to rotate through mid. Okay, well, now at least you don't have to worry about catering to Instinct. That's the silver lining there. Ooh, nice timing from Shy. Expecting the lurk from Glyph.
Let's throw it out. Ball from Spaz buys a little bit of time. The rotate on high comes in. Shy is everywhere on Icebox right about now, but Saint not at all impressed by the movement from the Jet. Just holds their ground, hits the shots. Now, with that lockdown that they saved from last round, they get to net themselves an advantage in the post plant. 3v3 though with Saint on low. It's not going to be easy.
Nice. Made easier by an operator though. Stolen away, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, wait. Entry came into the round with this one, I think. Or he stole it from Shy. Either way. I mean, this is basically impossible, right? There's the only guiding light, and it didn't even get the angle. And I really have to just love the way that Saint scaled that round, right? Eli takes technically takes the contact as OC slowly creep onto the B site. Because he's the one seen first. So Shy sees Eli, thinks, oh, that's the most forward player. You can see he instinctually goes for the cloud burst to, like, smoke him off from Eli, but Saint's already there. Saint's pushed forward. No one expects the Killjoy to be that far up if the Sova is there. Back and forth, but finally Blin's economy is busted. So OC can look to snowball a bit.
And unfortunately, it's exactly the round when their ultimates come up as well. Not perfect timing. The team is going to try something aggressive here. Doesn't work out too well.
Spike down.
We get one, but OC mow them down. Now Blink College are going to begin to reel. It is not too late for this half to go badly for them. And OC are the ones in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's all dependent on the next round, right? Viper's Pit, Lockdown, both available. Where do we see the pit? Is it going to be an early round pit or is it going to be a post plant pit? Because a lot of Vipers in the Harbor Viper comp have been saving their Viper's Pit for the post plant, right? Because you get so much more vision control with Harbor standing alongside you. But doing that also gives more map than you necessarily need to over to OC Esports. Pretty aggressive A push again. Turret's watching for it though. Mid to B. Instinct totally alone. How does he get away with one there, dude? How?
Instinct's just having a hell of a day. I don't think there's any other way to put it. Teague's finally going to put a stop to it, but they don't have any space on B. They have no information, and there's a rotate here. Fortunately, one Harbor beneath. Spaz spots everything now. After when the duel against Eli doesn't. Spike will go down on A. 2v2 now. Retakes very possible. They've got a dog to check this out as well, should they want it.
Spike
Yes, they gotta play against the op. They don't know about entry. Oh my goodness, Teague. You had better buy a lottery ticket right about now, my friend. Not able to pick off Shy, though. They've got the flank. We talked about that lurk from Glyph, And it is the final nail in the coffin that is this round. Flynn College lose an incredibly impactful one. Their economy's back down to 0. OC are up to 6, and the half is almost definitely going to go in their favor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more or less the half
An important pick.
I just can't believe that Instinct gets in there, right?
Yeah, that's crazy,
and
man.
I'm perplexed too as why Town thinks that mid is free. If Instinct has gone like past Tube into Orange, why is Town just full sprinting through mid into an operator? Like what is the call there that mid is gonna be clear? You should expect Instinct to have support.
Dude!
Spaz again getting caught on that angle. Did you not learn from the first time you got spammed there, Spaz?
Put. No, dude. I know we're anti-eco. I know this is all just like flash and no substance. Put this man on a Wheaties box, though. Come on.
One more for an anti-eco. Ace, and there it is.
It's such a crispy.
Damn, his
I
aim
know
is
it's
clean.
anti-eco, but it was so crispy.
His aim is just...
I don't think it would have mattered had they had guns. Like the shots were so quick. It doesn't matter. They could be training dummies. They could
honestly.
be god tier players. They could have
I feel
rifles.
that.
They could all have ops. Those shots all still connect.
Like, it's not like Momiji's hitting that shot, right? Like, maybe Town wins that with a rifle, but I doubt it.
No, Town didn't get a shot off with the scouts. So
Yeah, I doubt it, man.
I mean, that was just like, yeah, it doesn't matter what they had. Instinct was gonna have a crazy round there. Killer stuff from OC.
Finally a
Down
decent
B.
opening here, and the Viper's Pit committed to A. Blinn are trying to dig their heels in, put their foot down, put a stop to this. Town, the fact that you win that is egregious, honestly. Again, Town just flying through the middle of the map with no information. This time he wins it, though. And with 2 down, OC have to take a moment to lick their wounds.
Really cool stuff from OC. I want to see him start pushing things.
I mean, it's hard to push without Eli, though.
No.
right? You don't have
I don't mean
Recon
pushing
Dart or
sights. I
Allegron.
mean trying to pry at the armor rather than going for the
Oh, okay.
whole
Not a
jalopy,
Valorant
so to
push,
speak.
a metaphorical push.
Yeah, push the buttons, spray away a little bit, maybe down mid. I would love a little bit of kitchen pressure just to force some rotates out so that this can't be a stronghold, because you're not winning this with a straight up push. I don't think it's possible. 3v whatever. Yeah, Shy's gonna shut you down. You know there's an operator on the other side.
30 seconds
Maybe they were
left.
hoping for a push in Tentry's operator, but I don't think without forcing the issue somewhere around the map that maybe if they had found a unique position, they were gonna get away with it. So OC going down another round, very likely here. But that doesn't mean they're in a bad spot in any way. 7 rounds up. They've got economy. We're still fighting for the last one. The rewards for Blinn
10
winning this
seconds
round
left.
are significantly less than that of if they were to lose it.
Yeah,
If they lost, it was 2 rounds. If they win, it's kind of just 1 right here. They're gonna have to earn the next one still. Shy hits a nice little no scope. Thanks buying time. I think OC are just chit chatting at this point in time, trying to figure out what they want to do in the next
Last
round, because
in the half.
an 8-4 half is very different from a 7-5 texturally.
I do really want to see Shy hang on to that B-long control with the operator, right? Shy's been having a difficult time with this op because when he goes A, he's mostly getting overwhelmed by, 4 or 5 players from OC, so even if he gets one, he just gets pushed. And when he goes B, he's had a lot of really passive positions where he gets behind the Viper wall, where he's, the toxic screen completely blocks his angles. This deeper position, keep in mind, it's just Viper, not Viper Harbor for OC. So there's no way to smoke him off other than a Cloudburst. More aggressive angles for Shy, prevent him from getting smoked off with the op. At least let him take some map presence with that operator.
Blinded. Poison's off.
For Instinct. This is tough, even for him. Fast, it's a nice swing. The timing so far. Blinn College looking good, but the outside of the map is what they need to worry about. A quick rush onto the A side, but the spike's gonna be really, really, really late here. Just goes down before players come in. A peek and spawn from Glyph. I love that. Doesn't really get rewarded for it. 6 snakebite as well.
Oh, they're gonna swing. They're gonna swing and fight this. They have to try and get rid of the lockdown. No? Committing here is crazy. Glyph getting 1? No way he gets 2.
Oh no!
Difficult against the Reckoning now. Eli has to step up all alone, and the Reckoning kind of gives his way. Oh, yeah, away his position. There it is. Shy finds him. Blip recovering the half in the last throws of it. They put 2 more rounds on the board. 5-7 is not bad, especially compared to that 11-1 we saw on Haven.
Yeah, it's been better. You don't feel like Blink College are in control, but they're putting a stop to that OC aggression that gave them the map control in the early rounds. Now with the side swap, we saw Blink College do better on their attacking side on the previous map. Same thing for OC. So when they swap side here, you do expect a little bit more performance out of them. But it's been so long since then that you do wonder a little bit. Have things changed?
Yeah. This composition for Blinn is still really good on the attack, though. I actually think it's better on the attack because Spaz just has like a we take B-long button, right? Like the Cascade on attacking side is just like, okay, B-long's ours now. Go away. We don't want you here. And it's a full committal to B this time, too. The wall already going up. Spaz is going to use a Cascade. That makes it really hard for Instinct to push and actually be supported. Like, he can get into a cheeky position where we saw Shy earlier. But the second that Cascade comes forward, Entry and Glyph aren't going to be able to help him.
Cascade in. There are a lot of defensive members here. Instinct Entry just getting it done. OC set up well. The numbers are even as the dust settles. You want to get this spike plant quickly. Shots, though, don't go particularly well for Momiji as they creep their way up the rope. I love this disengagement. Look at how far back he went. Trying to buy time. Just over to get there. Forces Spaz all the way to the edge. It's getting violent between these teams and their knee stretching, so to speak. It's becoming personal. We know these players know each other very well.
Had to give him back for the one Momiji gave him on Haven. Down to 11. I really enjoyed the positioning, actually. Not many teams would have the, like, cognitive awareness to put Entry and Glyph forward past where the Cascade normally plays. But OC have played this composition before. They lost to this composition in the quarterfinals against Blinn. They were aware of what the Cascade wants to do, where it goes. And they played against it in round number 1. Oh. Okay. That could have gone worse.
Certainly. A back off from OC as well. Again, I love the wherewithal that OC has to just disengage at the perfect times. Their managing of the pace of this match is miles above where it was yesterday, when every engagement was kind of being dictated by the other side. They're taking control, not just of quick engagement. Honestly, that's all we wanted coming in today. We just want to see them take charge, play a little faster in moments. But they're really, I think, snapping the necks of Blinn College by just going full speed retreat, engage, back to the side, like shaking it up every single time, making sure that their play is really unpredictable. And every time they're disengaging, it's in an advantageous position. They're stopping the fight, forcing everything to come to a halt right when Blinn College least wants it to.
Oh god, look how deep Instinct is. This is such a cool counter strat to see from OC. 3 rounds in a row, they commit 3 players to be long. Hog their whips! Okay, good shot. Good shooting from Spaz. Gets rid of the cheeky position. Do they expect Swift to also swing this? No. Oh, don't get caught out with util again, please. We suck too much on your defense, Blinn.
Step up. They don't have the weaponry to challenge this operator, but it gets a little bit easier. The first shot rings through Entry. Lines up for another. Walls out. And space gained for Blinn College. This is that compositional advantage that we were talking about. You've got these double smokes. They have so much information. Frankly, OC have none.
Blinn have taken a really long time to set this B take up, though, so they know that the rotates are possible. But OC have counter-read what Blinn are anticipating. They've moved the operator back over to the A site. So this doesn't get any easier, and there's not much vision control available for Blinn this time.
Gonna go down high ground. Aggressive push by Saint. Not rewarded. Blinn College in a fantastic position now. Glyph, the last person here.
It's gonna try and save the op.
Much of anything done. Be lucky to get out of here, though. Shive's got this angle. Spaz as well. Almost jumps into it. He's half an HP of damage, but the rounds will go up to 6-9. OC creeping towards victory. Blinn College chasing after them.
And OC getting a little bit too ambitious, buying the op third round, right? I don't. A lot of collegiate jets, especially, will buy op third round. I am never much a fan of it because it is such a gamble on your economy. No one has the firepower to support you, and now Blaine have stolen away 4,700 credits, right? The Reckoning is available. OC have given Blaine away back into this game, and unless they can get entry this A orb, which Blaine are pinging, they know that he's going for. Like, it's so difficult.
I mean, orb was taken. It was yoinked.
Blaine a little slow to that one. I think I think Shy actually got hit with the recon dart too.
All right, entries got the blade storm. So economically, I mean, OC have pulled themselves into this one with that orb take. So I have to play into the operator of Shy, which is very tricky. It means they're gonna be low on map information, but this raise pushed up in mid is actually giving quite a bit. We'll hear C be ready for anything that goes through on the B side, and possibly could flank. There's no killjoy util back there to watch for it if they go for it. Oh boy, Instinct is creeping forward. This could be bad late.
Ooh. I really like that push there from Momiji. Gets through the wall. And Momiji can afford to die because Spaz will still have walls.
Spike planted.
Glyph being down makes this retake really difficult. There's not going to be a poison orb. There's not going to be any of those snake bites to try and flush players out from behind yellow. And the Nano Swarm now from town set up. I mean, will get destroyed, but it's just more and more time. Nice little shot there from entry, but can't follow it up with any more. And how did Instinct flies past yellow? At least gets himself a trade, but 2v2. We're running low on time. Saint, good work from him. Town. Oh, just couldn't quite get it in Spaz. Needs to tuck himself in. Needs to play for time. Saint just sticking it.
Very blue.
No way. Okay.
Oh, couldn't even see it coming. Water in the eyes. Saint forgot their goggles.
Yeah, that's not, I don't think that's fresh water either, is it? So salt water, which like stings.
Very salty in this match.
True. Oh, amazing. Great recovery by Blinn here. Just a really solid post plant. 2 players behind yellow makes that much more safe, especially against a Blade Storm, especially against the double duelist, right? You're very worried about the yellow position when you have a Raze and a Jet on the other side of things, because either one or both can fly at you, and just one player is there, that makes it much more tricky. Solid opener from Saint on this eco round.
Placing swarm grenade.
Not a recoverable rifle, though.
Comes in from Blinn College. It's going to take more than just that first pick, but a second. Increase the odds. Like getting dove at by the dog. Viper's Pit out. I don't hate this. Again, I'm a big fan of securing rounds.
Yeah.
When the game's this close. That's just going to make it all the harder for OC to push back in.
Especially a player down, right?
Got your trail.
Viper's Pit makes you feel a lot better about that. Ult's being committed by OC. The lockdown to try and counteract the Viper's Pit. Seekers from Teague, too. I think the Seekers were a little bit early. You could have saved that for later in the round. I mean, at least it frees up your flank. You don't have to worry about that. 2 players detained!
Oh,
no! At least a showstopper with.
You can't find enough time for this. Oh, they shot the ring!
One enemy remains.
Spaz! 1v1. It's not half stuck yet. Entry has to go for it. And Spaz is just messing with him. No, it is half stuck. But Spaz has bought enough time here. He doesn't even have to swing until the very last second. That was way more dicey than it should have been, considering it was an eco. But at least Blinn get an 8th round and get within spitting distance of OC.
It was made expensive, though. And economy, I don't think for either of these teams is going to be a particularly strong point going into the next round. But OC are at least going to have something to work with. Blinn College, they'll get rifles, but there's definitely going to be some light armor going on the board for a couple of these players. Spaz cleans up that round massively, though. Honestly, the fact that that spike defuse wasn't denied, granted there's a double swing on it, but it was completely covered by OC. If OC hit their shots there, it is game over for that round. And
saving
likely
grace
to have.
for Blinn. He's really been putting up the numbers, which is good because we talked about it at the top of the day. Spaz is one of the top performing players in all of CVAL. So for him to have been absent from map 1 was a huge issue. Momiji going for the lurk this time. Doesn't expect Saint to be right there, though. Still at least frees up the site for a take and makes it so that Blinn can plant.
You should run.
I like this retake path, though. A very fast flank from OC.
Spike planted.
What that nets them is such a mean position. It's got to be gone back and cleared by Blaine College. Spaz is trying to. That means members aren't here on the site.
I suggest you
Try and make sure that it works.
Last player standing.
Oh, the timing there is so unfortunate for Spaz. And Teague only has 52 health. Body shots are more than enough. And Instinct gets it done. What a chaotic round there. Saint with an insane play, sneaking inside the lockdown to pick up one and take Teague down so low. And it all started with this pick on Momiji too. Saint having a massive round. They don't say talk about Saint that much because he's very much a role filler for OC, but make no mistake, the dude can show up when he needs to.
I feel like role filler is a really mean way to say support player, but okay. Anyways, yeah, Saint, 2 massive frags in that round. 10-8 now the scoreline. OC the first hit, double digits. And the economy of Blinn College is
In the gutter.
pretty. Exactly. The timing of Blinn College's economy being bad in the past 2 maps has been really unfortunate, man. OC have timed putting them into a corner to a T. Now 3 rounds being the difference between OC and victory. Blinn College need a little bit of that magic that we know they can have on eco rounds. It is still within range to keep the economy of OC in check.
You say that, Dor, but even though they ran the upper bracket, coming into this match, Blinn have the second lowest among our top... No, actually the lowest among our top 3, the second lowest among our top 4 teams in CVAL South when it comes to eco conversion. Not been having a good time in these eco rounds recently. Momiji not having a good time in that fight either. Really was hoping to catch Instinct.
Oh, this is me. Oh,
You don't check this.
Oh, entry's wiping this entire push.
Yeah.
There's no way you screw this up. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done,
Spike
OC.
down
Doesn't get
B.
easier
Just
than that.
completely cornered him.
30 seconds left.
And good on
One
entry.
enemy
I mean, I
remaining.
think we have to give people pats on the back when they don't mess up important positions. And the pressure was definitely on to take 2 fights there and win them both. But he did so with the advantage. Blinn College now pushing through. Shy.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
Shaq
got
gets
more
one,
knives.
But it's 15 seconds and the players are all over the map. It's impossible to win this.
10
Like, he's
seconds
stolen a
left.
gun, which I guess is good enough. It's all you can really salvage at this round. Shy's looking for more.
I know. They're like, you can just
have
save this.
another.
It's not a bad move. All right. I think Shy's disappointed that Shy didn't find anybody, but I think the rest of Shy's team's okay. Shy didn't find anybody. All right, coming in now,
This last
11
chance.
to 8. This is the last. Well, no, they'll get one more on 13. No.
But they'll be broke.
Yeah. It's not going to be great. Ultimates are coming up though for both sides. I think that is a bit of a saving grace for Blinn College. They've been pretty good with them as well thus
It's
far.
just Seekers, though. It's just Seekers up right now.
I think that's actually kind of good against OC has done a great job of starving them
What?
with information. Seekers will help with that a lot.
What Blinn really need here in this round is an early pick and then transition that into like a Seekers rotate or something. But they're going toward A. This is just where the Killjoy utility is set up. There's nobody home. Instinct and Entry have fully pushed out B long, so the rotates are already coming through. OC own the map. Sure, there probably will be a plant here, but how much does it cost Blinn to get it?
I mean, to get it,
Poison's off.
not much. Holding on to it's gonna be
What
hard
are you
part.
two?
Spike planted.
OC push back in with full util. Like you said, a little bit gone from Blinn College, but I'm gonna be honest. I mean, but Cascade's still there. They still got a flash on Teague. Piecemeal, but it's something. Seeker's out. Cheeky little jump from Glyph forward. Gets on top of the spike. Shuts down all the Killjoy util as well. Blinn College don't have much to defend here. They got to take these fights. They need to use this Sky util to support. Spaz throwing out as well, trying to stop the defuse from going through. They stopped Glyph. Luigi's traded out again. Good for Blinn College as they still have
Defuse,
offensive
defuse.
players. The defuse is going through. The shot goes!
Oh no! It's all gone wrong.
It was going pretty well for Blinn College for a while there. They were they were losing the correct players. They were trading out effectively.
But it just happened too fast. It happened to OC were given too much space on the site. The fact is that spike wasn't even planted for maybe 10 seconds before the first tap comes through. There was no stall. Sure, the first defuser and a half is killed on the defuse, but OC trade all of those players out so effectively. Saint covering for the lurk coming through mid, completely reading Momiji on that lurk through mid again. Blinn at least have scraped together rifles. They've managed their economy better than anticipated.
Mean, though. Look at these forward positions from the Jet and the Rays. Just caught out. Not ready for entry, though. Cheeky crossfire entry, dashes out. I think OC will call that a win. Pushes are coming over on A. 4 members it is bolstered by. But OC are in position. They still got a decent amount to retake this with, including a drone, 2 shock darts. Then you could want,
that's huge.
Cliff, who's diving into shark-infested waters.
I think that was a miscomm from OC. I think Glyph thought he had somebody over towards screen that was going to be able to assist him in that position. The Owl Drone to escort the Bladestorm in. This is deadly.
Owl Drone up. Bladestorm over, down, shuts it down. Saint from the wide angle looks to make the gap.
All on Town.
Oh, it is as done as it comes. Town's got to make something miraculous happen here. OC just have that dog in him right about now. 12-8. They take a second map and show no signs of being willing to lose another finals.
OC showing no remorse and all focus and preparation. They have absolutely downloaded Blinn from that first series and counter-stratted for this match. A 7-13, an 8-13. Not the start we expected from Blinn. Our fall champions. Our our bronze medalist in winter. Will they complete the trifecta with a silver medal here, Dor? It looks pretty likely.
Yeah, having filled up a podium, I'm sure they like to see their trophy cabinet look a little bit different, but that's no problem. OC, though, what a turnaround. I mean, even with, we talked about it, we coped a little bit. We were like, okay, that's not the Blinn College we were used to seeing in map number 1, and then in map number 2, they heated up. They started hitting their shots, but OC, again, are playing extremely well on pretty much every single front. They have those massive impact plays from, honestly, it's really like Saint and Instinct a lot of the time thus far, hitting massive impact frags, and that's okay. It may not be kind of the usual suspects on that team, but it is no problem at all because they are adapting phenomenally, and like I said, the fundamentals surrounding those players popping off are still extremely strong.
And there's a big statistical anomaly on this screen that we're looking at right now. Blinn with 12 first kills, 3 more than OC. But when OC were planting, they won 7 of 8 of their post plants. How are Blinn getting first kills, getting advantages in rounds, and then
but
not converting so consistently? Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's Icebox. It's a very post-plant heavy map. But if you're going to like get the first blood and then allow the plant, surely you would think you come back into that with an advantage.
I think the other crazy part is that you have 12 first bloods in 8 rounds. I mean, failing to convert a third of your first bloods is not insignificant.
And I think this comes down to the concern I had for Blinn at the top of the day. Both through Haven and through Icebox, we've seen a lot of fights where it is one player from Blinn getting caught by 4 from OC. And maybe they trade it, maybe they don't. Maybe they get that first blood technically, but then lose their life and lose a lot of map control and lose momentum, right? And we need to see a little bit more of the buddy system, right? Do you have your exit buddy, Blinn? Make sure you grab onto him because you are thrown into a whirlwind right now. It is not going good for Blinn.
No, it's not. OC, though, smiling happy. They're going to enjoy themselves during this break, and you guys should as well. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, grab what you need for what might be the final map of our series.
standing. One enemy remaining.
Water rising.
Welcome back, y'all. OC versus Blinn continues. OC's up 2-0 after a strong Icebox in Haven showing. We head into a third map of the series that begs for some Blinn life to be breathed into it. They have had incredible performances in the past. We know they can frag out and have that individual potential, but it's been shut down time and time again. OC are matching them gunplay-wise and outplaying them tactically.
Yeah, OC on the first 2 maps. I mean, these maps were repeats from the series that OC lost against Blinn in the quarterfinals. And OC, these were the maps that OC lost, specifically, right? The only other map in that series, the one OC won, Blinn didn't even want to play because it was a 13-5 OC. Is Lotus. We're not even gonna bother with Lotus this time around, right? It's banned, boom, gone. And still with 2 bans, Blinn are what is it about the upper bracket teams? In fall, TAMU with the upper bracket team get 3-0'd by
Yeah, you're
Blinn.
right.
In winter, OC with the upper bracket team get 3-1'd by UST. And now Blinn, our upper bracket team, is not having fun in the first 2 maps of our series. We go on to map number 3 now. Ascent, which like all time is a good map for Blinn. It's a very standard collegiate map. Every collegiate team is able to play Ascent, generally speaking. But also, in the last couple of months, Blinn haven't been doing super well on Ascent. They're 3-3 on it, right? Which is much lower than the 100% win rate that OC have on it.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, OC have a 100% win rate on it, and then it just so happens that yesterday they took out the only other team with the 100% win rate on it. And not even in a close game. They dominated the other team with the 100% win rate on Ascent. So if that doesn't tell you anything, I'm worried. And let's talk about why that is, right? Because they don't bring anything bog standard to Ascent. There is one player that you and I focus on here, Glyph, who created a couple of problems on Icebox. It is a disease on Ascent.
I feel like a broken record bringing up Glyph so much. But the guy really does.
He's positionally vital to how they play certain maps.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So most teams here are gonna play what I like to call the Ascent standard, especially for collegiate teams. Right. You get the Jet, KO, Omen, Sova. Those are all standard. Most teams bring a Killjoy because on most maps, most teams are bringing a Killjoy. Killjoy is the most played agent across all of CVAL right now, and it's not even particularly close. Glyph, on the other hand, brings a Cypher into this map. And Glyph's Cypher is... what's a good word for it? Cantankerous, I think, is the best word for it. It's brutal. It's mean, right? It is unfun to play against.
Yeah, Glyph has a very good idea as a Cypher player, which you should, because the minimum value, or the skill floor to getting value out of Cypher, quite high. But one of the biggest things is understanding when to take the fight and when to buy time for your teammates. And Glyph is one of those players that will just refuse to die. And, like, if you push too hard when he refuses to die, you're going to get your head taken off at the same time. And he treads that fine line so well.
And a lot of teams are really used to playing against the Killjoy on this map, right? You know, we see lineups now between like fragments and shock darts to get rid of lockdowns in their typical positions, because even with the buffed lockdown health at 200, right? Even with that, teams have innovated and figured out ways to play around that. Whereas nobody's used to playing against Cypher at this point. Once upon a time, Cypher was mainstay on Ascent, but that was a pretty long while ago. So as we go into our map number 3, a map that Blinn have to win if they want to take this title, if they want to try and pull off a reverse sweep, they have to find a way to deal with Glyph.
And I think we can talk a little bit about the attacking side in a moment, but I think at least for Blinn, when they're on their own attack, a lot of the pressure's got to go towards mid. Not having the alarm bot in mid is a bit of a rough one. The Cypher can set stuff up there, but it's a little trickier to play around. Now, though, it has to show us that attacking side. We know Glyph to be able to lurk perfectly fine, set up good post plants as well for the team to play off of. Right now, it's pretty straightforward A-split.
Yeah, OC not slowing down. That fragment will slow their roll a little bit. Nice blinds, too, from Town. Trapped in the corner, revealed, and overwhelmed. Shy, can he trade it back out? Needs to reload, put some more bullets in his gun, but him and Tiger not doing half bad. Glyph, last one on site, with Saint so low, waiting in the wings. They both get one. 1v1.
Saint so low, though.
Shock darts got him. Spaz ain't even risking it.
Great comms by Blinn. I just recognize that player is so low. Quick for 1-0 round, but honestly, a blistering pace at the response for Blinn College. The speed at which these rotates came in was incredible, especially when you consider that they weren't slowed down in tree at all. They're to match when they hit site.
Yeah, 100%. Solid start for Blinn, but we've seen them take pistols and lose maps very recently. So I'm not getting my hopes up just yet for Blinn. Shy position pretty far forward here in B main. Interested to see if that keeps up. Ooh, Blinn showing their hands a little bit on that utility play over toward B, right? They had the nanostorm and the shock darts. Meanwhile, also pushing out into A main with the fragment. I mean, you can do that in an anti-eco because there's not going to be 4 other guns waiting around the corner. I am wondering how intensely Blinn are going to commit to simultaneous A and B main control in future rounds.
I mean, into the Cypher, I think you actually have a bit of a leisure with that.
It is harder, right? I mean, you don't have the turret to like force someone off an angle. I mean, maybe you get the cam up, but the cam can be pretty easily broken compared to the turret before it gets any like good information, good pressure. The nano swarms obviously aren't going to be available to try and chuck into choke points.
Yeah, we talk about the Cypher as a weapon for OC, but against a good team, it can be turned against them. And
it can be a double-edged sword.
Are definitely pushing the right buttons thus far this time. It's not the Cypher's ability you have to worry about. The gun. With holding on to another angle. Take somebody else's head off. Instead, careens on the A side. There's one player hiding in back. Takes them down. Blinn College up 2-0. Use their weapons to gain an advantage. Carry 4 of them out of the round as well. It's going to be a healthy bonus.
Yeah, nice little movement there from Town, too, at the very end there. You can see how he uses sound to anticipate when Glyph is actually going to be swinging, and he gets himself away from the box, which is where Glyph's crosshair would have been placed.
30 seconds left.
Just those little micro things that give us a little bit more confidence in Blinn after a couple of maps where things have been falling to pieces. You know, on map 1 and 2, we saw some very questionable fights from Town, so it's good to see him reel it back in a little bit, at least early on in this map. But of course, it's just the first 2 rounds. Now we go into the bonus versus the gun round. And OC are changing things up. They're going for a B split.
Very fast as well. This is what we love from them, though. Oh, when they start losing, all they got to do is just put one of those anchor rounds in. Play the game standard. Throw and execute out. They've done exactly that. 2 players in the back side, but they are stubborn ones. Spaz and Momiji. Momiji hits the first. Judge on this angle so difficult. Tries to peek it wide. Is not rewarded. Now the site taken. Spaz, the only thing left to defend it, is unable to. 3 players still left standing for OC. In a strong, quick take. I think this speaks more than just a round win and a clean one. This is definitely how OC tend to gain control of the game when it starts slipping.
It was pretty expensive for OC, so they're not going to be able to put up a full gun round in this next one. They're going to have to buy like Guardians and Spectres, presumably, for Entry and Eli. Are they going to try and get Entry both orbs? He's still pretty far from this Bladestorm. No, okay, yeah, give him a Guardian, yeah. Please don't play for that. Op available for Shy too. This was something that was when Shy was able to get into useful angles, he was making use of that operator. Nice first shot. Again, just like slow infusions of confidence for Blinn thus far.
Forced off towards main. Honestly, OC should probably smell this. They saw where Shy disengaged to. They know that Shy was there. The longer they wait, the more likely it is that this flank becomes all the more a problem town. I mean, pushed all the way behind. And then to an Instinct versus 4. It is the player of the day thus far for OC, though.
Bro, I'm going to steal that play from Instinct for my ranked games. The paranoia onto the player you know is alone because everybody else is behind you. You TP past them. That's pretty funny. Not going to get Instinct much in this round. It's just 40 health and spikes down mid. Really cheeky lurk from down through mid there. After Shy gets the one pick through mid, Town getting all the way out of A. I believe wrapped through A main. Yeah. Really cheeky. Because so much attention, especially like, you know, you saw the re-push from Shy and B main, then the Owl Drone forcing the B main players away from OC. Yeah, I like the fact that they're going for a timeout right now. It does feel like Blinn has a pretty confident defensive setup. Not many viable avenues for OC at this time, right? Like, you run into pretty heavy player stacks and stalling utility over on A. In mid, you're running into the Op. And then over on B, you're running into Spaz and Momiji. This is why a lot of teams, you know, don't really play the Cypher. That Killjoy lets you lock down B so effectively.
And I think the difficulty now is their economy's in no place. I mean, it's hardly even getting up enough every other round to put buys up on the board.
Yeah.
And so even when they do want to test something out, throw another piece of spaghetti at the wall, see if it's cooked, it's still a very expensive opportunity, one that they don't get very many of in this half before it starts to have gone really downhill.
A hero bulldog, Glyph, it seems. Oh, and a rifle for Entry. I mean, Entry.
Like I said, their money's been so weird.
Even if Entry doesn't get a pick here, he's gonna have the Bladestorm, so it's not like the end of the world. And maybe you can like snowball this rifle. Entry trades one, you pick it up. Then the next player trades one, you pick it up. Or you can just get spammed.
Oh no!
What a cheeky angle! How many Sovas do you see spam tiles with the Odin? It's always the B main spam. That's cool. I like that.
The sick play is that the flash came with it, forcing them into that corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The flash really set that whole thing up, and then it was just a complete mess. And it's plays like that that are just ruining the momentum of OC, who are like, okay, we've took our pause, we've got our check my playbook, we got our tactics we're gonna bring into this round, and then you just get two sprayed by an Odin through a wall. It's like, what do you? Oh. Still nothing in the face of Spaz. But yeah, like OC, and now they have to wait two. Like, I guess they don't have to wait 2 rounds because it wasn't necessarily a full buy, but nevertheless, they have to wait for the next opportunity. And if they don't hit that one, then it's going to be quite a while before the one after that. It's just they get so few chances to bring something new to these rounds. Yet Blinn College seemed to just have a new way to cheese them out of every single one.
30 seconds left.
All of our maps have been very one-sided economically.
That's for sure.
It has not been very back and forth on any of our maps thus far. Even in individual halves. Like, the most competitive half we've had is what? The 7-5 on Icebox? Yeah, you're not getting much same. And you're dead too. Shy making good use out of the operator. And this op is still a problem that OC have to try and solve, right? The camera is a much less reliable tool for trying to force off an op. There's that play you were talking about there. Yeah, recon dart and the flash you were talking about.
That's a really
that cool anticipation. I mean, that's one of those plays where because Blinn have the read that OC have been like playing a lot of players toward B, toward tiles. That play looks godlike. If nobody's home, That was a lot of utility and a weird position for Spaz to be in, and you probably get overwhelmed through like A main or something. But these positions, the cheeky swap ups, this is what we haven't been seeing from Blinn on Haven or Icebox. Their setups look so stagnant, so typical beforehand.
Ooh, okay, it's kind of fun.
Cheeky
Instinct are still playing like pretty well. At least aim-wise. Individually, it's been okay for OC. Blinn College has beaten them tactically. Their playbook is running deep right about now.
OC are just waiting for the second rotation of the recon dart, and then they are going to fly out of B main.
Cute. Spaz just mows him down again! This is the gun round for OC. This is their chance. This is their moment. Getting completely stopped up. Teague's on the flank again in mid. And the map control is feigned by OC. They think they own portions of this, but they're only renting it, leasing it from Blinn College.
Bro, Blinn's raising their rent, dude.
They've come to collect.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, you could quite literally call this I mean, you can't even call that an eviction. That's a no trespassing moment. Unbelievable. I mean, we've seen the story of collegiate ascents has always been Sovas and their Odins.
Yeah.
So many names.
Get out of my way.
Now, just an eco, just the Blade Storm. Pretty heavy fight for B main, and again, Blinn have the read. They're not letting it go through, and Spaz ain't afraid to get 2 out of the Hunter's Fury.
We've seen nothing quick towards A from OC, other than maybe the pistol round, which was medium pace, kind of at best. Looks in a weird position here, but there's nothing that's going to get done by these 3 players. They're quite separated.
Spike down. B.
Dude, Instinct. Wait, whoa, what just happened? We're down to 2 versus 2. Guns have been recovered by Instinct. Blitz doesn't have one. Spaz knows what corner he's in, though, and Luigi cleans up. What the hell was that?
Somebody get rid of this Odin. Somebody take care of it. I'm tired of the Odin. I'm sick of it. Spaz, you can't do that, man. 12-1! What a goober. I love it. Bro, is this how his like numbers have his stats have been so high? Has he just been an Odin abuser? No, because they don't play Ascent much. But
he's not an Odin abuser, he's an OC abuser.
Jesus.
At this point. God, man. I want to see OC pick the pace back up for this round. But it seems like EC have just completely preempted it. 3-man over at A. They're going to have to contend with both the Odin and the Operator.
They're already entries down. The op step back up on an angle. Like, Spaz uses the Odin, spams long enough into the choke to where OC have to slow down, commit utility to try and force that out. And by the time they do, their smokes have expired. There's no way for them to get back onto the site. Now they'll try a cheeky one, but they're not going to creep out of it. They have to wait for Instinct to maybe win this fight. They have to give it a Spaz. They can't walk through another choke where he's spamming.
Spaz only has 30 HP, but I think Spaz only needs 1 HP.
Oops.
Huge dart.
Missed it. Man, that would have been a huge dart too, because it would have spotted Instinct.
I'm not sure it matters. There's still 5 players up for Blinn College. If you don't have much, they've got 1 player to try and finish off Spaz, and they do. Under the cover of the Hunter's Fury, no less. Instinct creeping up.
Nice.
The recon, so valuable. Mimiji around the corner has got to find the kill. Blinn College back in it now, 3 versus 1. They shut down Eli, the top operator, playing gatekeeper to A main.
I mean, the op and the Odin, it's just so much investment. And because Blinn have won, 7 out of our 8 rounds, even if Shy and Spaz were to die, even if they were to trade, like, whatever amount, the amount of damage that they do with these massive guns is unparalleled. And that was a lot committed. That was the no command. That was the Hunter's Fury, the Blade Storm. OC dumped into that round. And they're not going to be able to recover it.
I mean, maybe not this half. The economy's certainly not coming up anytime soon.
Exactly.
Guys around the corner here in mid. Ah, God, dude, this operator's been literally every place that OC want to go.
And the tiles awareness. The tiles. Yesterday, OC loved to start tiles and then use that to position themselves elsewhere on the map. We didn't get to see a whole lot of their attack because their defense was so good. But today, Blinn just have the download. They have the read. And this is what we've been waiting to see from Blinn. OC showed us they can counter-strat Blinn on the first 2 maps. That they were not going to take that quarterfinal lying down. Here now, Blinn are showing us that they won't go quietly into that good night. They refuse to be second going into Nationals, and Shy with a nice shot. Almost a collat there.
Shy's been so on this map with the operator. And I feel crazy saying that, because usually, you know, Shy you expect to do extremely well with the operator, but this series has been really slow now, just not missing shots. Not at all. Regardless of whether it's an off angle, a close angle, tight angle. Been rough playing into him.
30 seconds
Cost you
left.
basically a player every time you want to figure out where it is.
This is a winnable round in theory for OC. There's only one player home here. Momiji just has to stay alive and use the utility time for rotate. Nice! Even
Oh
gets a
my
pick out of
goodness.
Nanoswarm. Glyph was too low. Now the round is back favorably in Blinn's
10
pocket.
seconds left.
10
Last
seconds
player
left.
Standing.
Entry's flank disposed of. No time to plant. Good recovery from Blinn. They don't let that eco get away, or that anti-eco get away from them.
I like that they slowed things down a lot, right? Allowed OC to overcook themselves with the eco weapons. Shy with this first shot. You're lucky it wasn't a collat. Good swings.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good swing, right? The positioning there is perfect to prevent a collat. But they just, between the 2 sheriff shots they get to try and hit, each of them get 1 chance, right? Neither of them are able to find the head.
Painful to see OC knocked down like this. 8-1, but they've really got to pick it up tactically. Blinn College have ran circles around them. There's an asterisk here that OC did perform significantly better on their own defense yesterday of this map.
Shy not able to find that first shot either. Has to use the dash to get away this time. Early lockdown, but the whole team is here. Blinn can protect this lockdown. OC, they have to either fight or leave. I guess that's one way to leave.
Does fighting count as leaving if you pass away?
I mean, away is in the name. Just saying.
9-1 plan. I mean, this has been a not even a quick map. OC have played some slow rounds. They've tried the faster ones. Nothing has come up well for them. Obviously, the map with the Cypher pick, it's a bit more of a defensive composition, right? They're looking forward to that side of the map, but starting out how they have, not a great look.
And,
remember,
you know,
they came into this undefeated on this map.
And as much as we commended OC for the first couple of maps in this series, their decisiveness, this op from Shy and the Odin from Spaz, even though he doesn't have it in this round, have caused OC to show that indecisiveness from yesterday, right? They run into one or the other, they lose a single player, and then they flounder for the next 30 seconds of a round. Good to see them go back to a more traditional execute, but they do get split off by a Nanoswarm here.
First duel takes down Entry. Town as well, another. Nanoswarm hits the ground, forces Instinct into hell. The site take is successful for OC. Not for a moment. 3v3 post plant. This is the best position we've seen OC in yet.
Oh, Aldrone gives Instinct position away. He is surely done for. Oh, still managed to trade one out. Shy went all the way past him. I think that was a little bit of a miscom there from Blinn. They overcooked a bit. Overheated, went too fast. And it gives OC a second round.
I don't even want to make the double joke anymore. OC, maybe I'm just coping, right? But we haven't seen the defensive side, and when there's a Cypher on deck, it's something I always have to look at. Blinn College, though, have made a mess of this half. They have absolutely splattered OC on the wall. And they've got more tools to do it. I mean, there are at least a few options here for OC. They've got buys. Got a KO ult. The Shadows available as well. Do they want to go fast, though? They absolutely do. It's just pressure. That was just bait. On the other side of the map, Blinn College are not taking it.
Why would you?
Not taking
You're
it.
definitely not
No.
taking it now.
Oh my goodness, Saint down. Nothing to really follow this up. This one's gonna be dead in the water the second it hits the back of B site.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're talking about bait. You don't need to bite at bait when Shy is feasting on the two like forward members. Now OC, like you've got Smokes, Info, and Sentinel who have to like dry push onto the site. It's bad. I'm down. I get sick.
They don't even know about Teague yet. They still don't know about Teague.
He's got a judge. Goodbye, Glyph.
We're in the hard way. Yeah.
Spike down B.
He actually had a judge and a gun. Blinn had so much money from this half, even after losing the last round. Teague was able to buy himself a judge and a rifle.
Switching sides.
That's absurd. All right. Side swap, half done. Blinn College, what an amazing defensive half. That operator in the Odin just completely shut things out. Swap sides now, though. And I think the only thing that we can... There's two things that I think we can say OC have going for them. One, fresh half, fresh economy. Two, Glyph gets to play on defense with the Cypher.
Yeah.
And three, Instinct is still playing hot.
Right here.
That's true. I mean, Instinct's still doing well, right? But the problem is, it doesn't matter if Instinct... These are not impact kills that Instinct is getting.
I mean, what do you expect? The rest of his team's dead most of the time.
That's
Like,
the
he's still
problem,
aiming
Dor!
well. If the rest of the team can start putting themselves in positions to actually, like... Instinct will hit the shots if you give him the opportunity. But he's just not getting any opportunities.
That's bold. I'm not sure Entry realized he had been hit by a 0 point there. tries to go for like the dash swing out. You don't have the dash with a 0 point on the guy. Silence. Yeah, nice little. I mean, there's what we've been looking for from Instinct, right? And I will call that an impact frag.
Eli also helping to hold up mid. Sniffs out the catwalk push. I think they saw just enough to know that this is coming.
Placing swamp grenade.
Alright, the rotates are in. Omen on high ground, Sova to come as well. It's going to be very, very fast. We need to get a spike down quickly. Glyph's able to take one with them. Spike down. No. This is not going how Blinn College wanted it to. They're getting a couple of kills through here, but not the ones they needed.
Huh!
Oh, boy.
Wait.
Oh, that's fat.
Oh, it forced him out.
I think he loses. He doesn't know. No, Momiji on the low ground turns, just has lesser weaponry. Flounders with the ghost in hand, and Eli cleans it up. A huge round for OC. A couple of early picks, some great rotates. The pick on the spike planter to slow down that attack was huge. They weren't able to completely follow up on it, but it was just enough to eke out the round in the end.
Momiji's gonna be kicking himself for that one, man. Entry, giving him a gift. Instinct with a strange play, right? Like the TP down to sight.
I mean, Momiji had Eli dead to rights there at the end.
Yeah, dead to right. Just nerves, right? That's gotta be nerves. But you're 13-5 individually. You're up 8 rounds. The fact that Eli didn't even have him on his screen, much less looked at him, and that Momiji doesn't hold his nerve, have that trigger discipline that we expect from someone like Momiji. Momiji was our top fragger in fall, if I remember correctly. Even 7 rounds up, Blinn know they're not smooth sailing just yet.
You're not out of the woods until you can prove that you can do it on both sides of the coin.
Look, 10-2 comebacks are extremely rare, but they do happen. They do happen. And for that to be the way you would theoretically lose a grand final, that always eats at the back of your mind.
They're now sneaking up, but they got players on either side of the map. With 56 seconds left, it's not going to be a feint and then rotate over. This is a full commit to the feint from the Jet and the Omen. Might just be the Omen. They can't get the Jet over to the other side of the map in time. The Omen, on the other hand, is probably going to take too long. They're probably going to have to go with 3 or 4 here and hope for a late mid push.
And I mean, you're going out to an Ares, right? Shock darts potentially to force Eli off.
Left.
He took some damage from spam too.
Not
unwinnable.
That's it. That's got to be it.
I mean, you would hope so. Yeah, Glyph
Spike
even survives
down
that.
B.
Doesn't get traded. There we go. Finally, Teague gets him, but it is just not enough time now.
I do like what Blinn College were doing.
enemy
I think OC definitely felt a little bit uncomfortable in that for a moment, but they pulled it together at the end. That catwalk push really exposed the weaknesses of what Blinn College were going for. Now Blinn have weapons, though. See how they can do with rifles in hand. OC thus far taking control of the half off the back of a great pistol round.
now that we're going into a really pivotal round for Blinn, right? This is their gun round. This is their anti-bonus. They have to win this and win it. Ideally, they would be winning it pretty cleanly. They have some room to work with. I really want to take a look at Glyph. Glyph had a really interesting setup last time with a deeper trap wire than most ciphers go for inside B main, and then the cyber cage as like a one-way. I really want to know, is he going to set that up again? No, it doesn't look like he can. Blinn are too fast into B main. I think both his traps have actually been destroyed, or he couldn't afford them. At least get the cyber cage for one point.
Makes this entry extremely difficult right about now for Shy, who is just in a rough place. Momiji crouches forward, inching onto the site. They finally wrestle away some control from OC, but it costs Blinn College so much in terms of util. And look what OC have. It's everything. Entry pushes back in. Glyph immediately exposes the positions. They're going to know that only one player is in garage right about now. Spaz completely cornered, spraying away with the Odin. Just trying to save their own life. The back of sight exposed as well, though. Glyph wants another. Aggressive for sure. Teague punishes beautifully. The flash is good. The trade better. 1v1 now for Instinct versus Spaz. The top fragger versus the second. Spaz with that Odin is just indomitable. Too much to handle for OC.
The read from Spaz! The fact that Spaz gets anything there is miraculous. The fact that he clutches the round after Teague holds the line, trades himself so well on site. The read as, oh, I know where our spike's planted. I know he's going to smoke it to try and get the half stick. The preemptive recon dart because he has walls between him and Instinct, and he has that ever so obnoxious Odin, even on the attacking side. Spaz is rolling with that. Ascent is made of paper when it comes to the walls, dude. And Spaz is poking holes in not only Ascent, but OC.
OC
He got
has
spotted, too. That's the crazy thing.
For one more round. Damaged by Spaz, who would love nothing more than to knock them out economically and just take this thing home right now. Get on to another map. With a strong setup on this A side, though. 3 players all surrounding the site.
Now, 4th waiting in Cubby. Boing,
This is a dangerous trap. This is a bit of a gamble from OC. In such a critical moment. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to make a call for a play like this, but it will be rewarded. It will be rewarded. They are holding the line.
I mean, the fact is, even with both KO and Sova, it's really hard to clear out all 4 of these positions, right? It's hard to get information on, like, shot or entry being tucked away. And Blinn, they smell something's wrong. They smell something's up. There's more util committed here than they're ready for.
The fact that they caught 2 people with the 0 point, they're like,
30
okay,
seconds
caught
left.
2 at the 0 point, but what about the areas that the 0 point didn't cover? So they think there's more. Trying to be to rotate out with the cutting of all the noise, but there's no rotate. There's still 4 cleared. There's still 4 people here. It got cleared. Entries down. Trade's good. Blinn College still not on site. What the heck?
I mean,
a
not
nice
a bad
little
play.
180 on the Shy. Instinct now. Gonna cause some problems. Time to get in the door. Would have loved to sneak in there, but the spike's gonna go down for it.
Spike planted.
2v3. And Momiji still waiting out in A main. Does get smoked off here, but that doesn't really stop Momiji from being able to trade out his teammates. He's going to use the turret to even stall further. They know where Instinct and Eli are coming from. A little bit of spam damage, but Eli not having the same sort of success with the Odin Spaz was. And even though Momiji gets traded, he did his job. That shock dart goes very much the wrong direction as Spaz sneaks under it and gets himself a snazzy little kill onto Eli to end it.
Blinn College go up to map point to put themselves up on the board. This Ascent, literally the receiving end of what they dealt out yesterday for OC. I don't think this is a place they expected to be at all. Like you said, 100% map win rate coming in. To see this happen is amongst the most unexpected things.
Here.
I suppose the blowout yesterday from OC was also in that lane, though. Nothing has gone to plan for the past 2 days of CVAL South.
Get out of my way.
Damn if that ain't accurate. What?
What was that?
Entry just waving hello, didn't even have his gun out. Wow, okay, this is a maniac. This is a chaotic last round. This is a mess.
It's not an awful mess for OC. It will fall apart, though, eventually.
Okay, kind of is.
Trades initially were good. Lift now on
I
the
call
flank. Let's
that
get
the
something done.
GG go next strat from OC.
What is next? What do we have on? What do you have on deck for number 4? Paul?
Spike planted.
That's a good question.
I haven't got it
We've got
Get
Pearl.
that far. Pearl for 4th.
Pearl is spicy. Come on, Glyph. Could you imagine though? Like he's not gonna clutch it, but could you imagine?
Nowhere to run.
Like he literally doesn't have the time. That's just mean, Faz. I hope Glyph does. Okay, well there goes.
Attackers win.
Blinn College taking the fight to OC on a map where Blinn College didn't have a phenomenal win rate, and OC had an absolutely incredible one. They just give him the beans. 13-4 on Ascent.
Between yesterday and today, we just gotta stop making predictions on maps. I don't care who picked it. I don't care who's done well on it. If you've won it before against the other team, we just gotta stop.
Honestly, it's crazy the difference you can get. Like, between the map pools, obviously Winter Finals was one of those games that was very much defined by its map pool because the teams were so different stylistically. These 2 games between today and yesterday have been a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's
stylistically.
What's the word I was looking for? Less polarized, right?
Yeah. But even when it was UST versus OC, when UST won those maps, it felt like they were wrestling them
30
away
seconds left.
from the map pick gods. These have been like, it was OC's map pick, and yet there's no wrestling to be done. It's just been handed over.
I mean, I really do think that Blinn. I mean, first off, Spaz. That Odin. I don't know about OC, but that Odin will live in my nightmares tonight. I will get less sleep tonight because that Odin will keep me awake. And then the rest. I mean, Shy had a really great game. That op on the defense was phenomenal, right?
I think I dareth say it right about now. But I think Pearl might be the last opportunity for
OC.
No. For Blinn College to obviously it's the last opportunity map wise, but like to really take control of the series. We talked about running Viper Harbor earlier on, and it was not pretty sights watching OC play into it yesterday, and knowing full well that Blinn have that in their back pocket. You do worry a little bit about their chances. You look towards map 5 and you're like, does it get much better? Not sure.
It's tricky at the very least, right? Here, Blinn, I mean, I do think Blinn had some gifts here, right? But between like the Odin and the Op, the fact that Spaz was so on, not just with the Odin, right? But like the intelligent way he I'm gonna say abuses Sova's kit to take care of OC, right? It feels old school almost for collegiate Valorant, right? Like that's what it feels. The best Sovas in collegiate Valorant have always been able to do that, and Spaz absolutely one of the best Sovas in collegiate Valorant. It's good to see him really get a confident map after the first 2 have been a little quiet. Like, yeah, he showed up on Icebox a little bit better with the Harbor, but also he had some weird moments on Icebox where he was getting caught with like in very predictable positions with utility out, right? So for Spaz to have this like confidence rebuilder, for Shy to have this confidence rebuilder, for Blinn to recover in such a monumental fashion after pretty much getting their butts handed to him on the first 2 maps, and then absolutely kick OC in the rear on map number 3. I'm excited. I wasn't looking forward to the 3-0. I wasn't. And now we avoid it.
We avoid it, we dodge it, we head on to Pearl, and you guys, that'll be in just a little bit. We're going to send you guys to a break, and when we come back, map number 4. Welcome back in, y'all. The series is heating up now as we finally get an answer back from Blinn College, and a stark one at that. Putting a stop to the reign over Ascent, which OC has held for, months now over the collegiate scene.
Yeah.
It's about time, Paul. It's about time, and it was not much of a fight for them either. They yoinked it away. They snatched it from OC.
Yeah, if I were to sum up our series thus far in one word or phrase, I'm not sure if it's hyphenated, but it would be counter strats, right? Ascent, maybe less so than the first two maps, but I would still say that the way the Blinn used the operator specifically on Ascent was at least to some degree a counter strat. Now, it is very common for Shy to pick that up. It's not like the craziest pivot for Ascent to just be, or for Blinn to just be like, oh, let's give our jet an operator, right? But yesterday when we saw OC play against TAMU and win on Ascent, the few rounds where they struggled were the ones where Noble from TAMU was getting value with an operator, right? So Blinn do a good job of recognizing that that was a window of opportunity, and then of course Spaz just had a frankly ridiculous match on Sova with the Odin. It's been a while since we've seen that sort of Sova Odin play on Ascent in Collegiate, at least here in CVAL South. I did not miss it. I will be honest. Makes it hard to analyze the game sometimes, but now we go into Pearl. That'll be taking a back seat.
It will be taking a backseat, namely to the compositions that are going to change up a fair bit for Blinn. It is particularly likely that they end up coming out on Viper Harbor, something that dominated OC yesterday, which, okay, let's put this to a theoretical and assume that, that advantage is enough to do it, and that advantage is enough to put this thing to a final map. It is going to be a complete clown fiesta on Split. Neither of these teams like playing it, neither of these teams win it, Split's completely up in the air. Neither of these teams want it to be decided there. Well, I guess Blinn has to have it decided there.
Blinn
they
wanted
wish it wasn't.
Because,
they would have
play
another map again.
At the top of the day, they would have preferred to not decide it on Split, but now they have to try and pull off a reverse sweep. Which is why, the Lotus ban was so weird from Blinn as the second ban, right? I know our graphic says OC. That's just a graphical glitch, guys. Blinn get 2 bans because they come from the upper bracket. So they ban Fracture, which makes sense. They don't like Fracture. And then Lotus, which they're generally really good at. But I guess they were just afraid because OC
after having lost it
13-5'd them. And I guess Blinn haven't done the same amount of homework that OC did since that, or on that series, rather. And now we go into Pearl, and this is no less weird of a map. Right? Because since the beginning of February, Blinn have played this map once against Missouri State Bears in another tournament. I've never heard of that team. It was a 13-2. So we don't really have great information on what Blinn like to do on Pearl. We did see it yesterday, of course. It was one of the maps that OC played against TAMU, and the one that they struggled on, the one that they weren't really able to deal with TAMU, and it was that Harbor Viper comp that you've been talking about, Dor.
Yeah, and I think this is a double-sided sword, right? Because on one hand, we've got, yes, they got beat on it yesterday, but on the other hand, we've got, yes, they got beat on it yesterday, but OC don't tend to lose the same way twice, so...
And Blinn don't tend to play this map, whereas TAMU really like Pearl.
Yeah, we'll see. This is a really interesting one. Just that lack of
one.
information really makes it hard to predict how this one's going to go. But what I do know is that both these teams are now firing on all cylinders. That last one, a wake-up call, a confidence boost for Blinn. And I still don't think that mechanically we were having any real shortcomings from OC. It was mostly just tactically.
Yeah, and of course, Blinn, this is such a strange map. Because I want to reference what they've played before. I think that Shy will still be playing the Jet, obviously. Shy plays almost nothing other than the Jet. That's something all 3 of our Jet players in our top 3 for both Blinn, TAMU, and OC, right? All 3 of them are just like Jet. If they have to do a raise, somebody else plays the raise, right? like it'll be Town or it'll be Instinct, right? And it's not like we're gonna see Neon on this map, so it's gotta be the Jet from Shy, which does mean that that operator again theoretically plays into it pretty intensely, right? You can set an op down B long. That's really nice. There aren't too many angles for the op. Is the only thing on this map. It's somewhat more predictable. But OC also just have to show us that they can actually take B long, because they really struggled to do that yesterday. They don't run the Harbor Viper on this map. They run Astra instead, generally speaking, which makes B long, when you don't have Cosmic Divide, a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. It becomes rough scenes. Their control over mid at times was pretty good. That I think I can compliment them on. There were a few highlights in that.
They're A++.
But again, I think I am not trying to use yesterday as the litmus test heading into today with this
That's
team.
fair.
Because if there is anything OC is good at right now, it's learning from their mistakes. They've shown us that. With how they've come back against Blinn College, with the way they've changed their strats coming into this, with the run through the lower bracket. When you see them play the same team twice, the second time they almost always do not just better, but significantly better. And I'm expecting that should this Harbor Viper come out like we expect it to from Blinn, OC is going to be much more prepared than they were yesterday.
All right, we're going into game map number 4. Let's take a look at the comps.
Yep.
Gecko!
Wait, whoa!
All right, well, OC
You know
are
what?
cooking.
I called it at the beginning of the day. I said there might be something weird from OC if we got the Pearl.
They have certainly turned the stove on. Let's see if they start a gas fire.
Might just be cooking something, Paul. What are you assuming things?
Yeah, maybe. That first engagement didn't go too well for him. It was like Wingman Dizzy really early there from Saints. They expected Blinn to push up really aggressively in A main. And now they're like fully clearing through Art with just Glyph holding on to A, but he's not even holding on to it very deep. Two players really close there. Entry was ill-equipped to take that fight, and Shy already getting good on Saint. What? And then they stack. They walk into Eli's fire. Uh-oh.
OC have blindsided them, not necessarily with the composition, but the kills are more than enough. For the plant, can't get it down. OC still cover their tracks.
One
Omiji
enemy
falls.
remaining.
OC are now in strong control with just Town left. The overlay will catch up, guys. Don't worry about that. Line down. And Entry finishes things off. OC go up 1-0. I think Blinn College are on. That was a solid minute and a half for them to just take in what's on the other side of the board right about now.
It's okay, overlay. You go when you feel like it. That's a joke that's only funny to me and Dor. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, it just came down to that one ill-advised swing from Blinn. They should have had that, right? Shy and T should have been able to just hold on to A there, but the wrong angle, the wrong stack, the spacing incorrect, not able to do much with it. Oh, a deeper Dizzy. I like that this time. That's
I think it's
already
way
a good
better.
adjustment.
Yeah. Take down Spaz for it. Shy is likely forced back here. Shy's going to try and get a kill before leaving. I actually think committing. It's not a bad plan here. Filter picked up as well, though. And nothing's actually been committed. They have full map control. This is great for OC. Granted, anti-eco, but nevertheless, you like to see OC in control of the map like this. When they start focusing a little bit more and showing us strategies that are well calculated, this is it. Like we said, yeah, I mean, coming out of yesterday, they were going to do their homework. They were going to either come in and play it better or come in with something completely new.
There's two players waiting here. Town was able to rotate over because they took a minute. No, don't kill him, Town. That's what you get. That's what you get. Let Wingman plant.
Spike planted.
Actually, I've never
Player
casted
standing.
Gecko before. Does Gecko get the orb if Wingman plants? I assume so, right? Like the ult orb for planting the spike. I've literally never casted Gecko before, so I've never had to think about that.
Not 100%, but they have been giving Saint the orbs. A bit of
That's
focus
true.
being put
That's
towards
true.
it.
I mean, Thrash is a really nice ult on this map. Gecko is not necessarily great across all of Valorant right now, but this is a map where he is usable. There's so many tight corners. Thrash, especially as that ultimate, gets a lot of really cheeky angles to surprise people, get those detained, secure some really solid kills.
Thus far, even without it, the Dizzies have been good and improved over the course of the couple runs that we've seen.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, though,
our sample size of 2, the second one was better than the first.
Hey, I'm here for it.
And the third one's good.
Blinn College, they're fighting even harder for this A main control. They'll trade it out, but I mean, it is Definitely particularly costly. Throwing in the wingman, just check out who's there. They're not going to recover those 2 orbs, though. Which means that they're falling back with even less util than they started with. The town reads the play on the other side of the map as well. Said it.
Wait.
Comes out. Spots them both!
It got him!
Oh,
It got him both!
it got them both! Oh.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Planted.
What a play by OC, though. All of that funneling into the Gecko early pays off.
That's what I was talking about, right? There's no way to fight that Thrash. Like, where do you take the angle? Because Glyph was scaling with it. Now it's down to town, and he's just
So much use.
nano swarmed out. There's nothing he could do here. A second one to lock him out. Time is a factor, and then he's got to deal with a high-low swing. Perfectly done by OC thus far. I've actually been impressed by this Gecko.
I'm high on it, man. I'm high on it. Again, you just don't want to play it OC the day after they lose something. They just do not take it well.
Truly.
They come in with everything. The elements of surprise, fantastic. The strats they've got prepped for it, amazing. The whole team is clearly involved in this process. It's not just one person going to the whiteboard and saying, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do." This has been well thought out.
And again,
Well played. We didn't expect the Gecko, but again, I'm gonna brag and say I did call this earlier. There's a chance we saw something completely new from OC, and
that's very true.
I love this so far. Let's see if we love it in the moments to come. Blinn counter stratted against the Cypher quite well, knowing that
I've got
slightly
your trail.
suboptimal off-meta pick was coming in. See if they can do it on the fly against the Gecko.
Yeah, and I mean, they're already in really quick. Town run and gunned by entry. And look at, you see that mosh pit come in too, right? If someone's holding onto that with a shorty or something, even if entry dies there to like something cheeky, that mosh pit deals a ton of damage, it clears someone out, it gets them into a place where that player can be traded. OC, the key word for OC this weekend has been decisive. When they have floundered, they look awful. When they make these confident decisions, they look dominant. And they can take it to even one of the best teams in all of CVAL. And go 4-0 up against Blinn without breaking a sweat.
Blinn are on the back foot. They are spiraling, and there's a big problem, Paul, and that is time. They have a limited number of rounds to figure out what on earth they're gonna do about what's going on to them right now. They didn't expect it. I'm sure they've checked the VOD yesterday. They've at the very least done that. I know we give OC a lot of credit for doing their homework, but Blinn does pay attention to what other teams are doing.
And the problem with OC yesterday on this map was they didn't have enough tools to take space, right? Gecko gives you those tools. You have Wingman to clear out, or plant. You have, you know, Dizzy, which is, honestly, Saint's been having some great Dizzies thus far. Thrash, when that ultimate is up. Already up again, by the way. That's the second time in 5 rounds. Not that Saint will get to use it. Oof. Hello, guys? What the? Wait, was that a... No, okay, I thought that was a leg or something. Not enough damage, though.
No.
And this is
There is
what we were
something
kind of worried about for OC, right? Shy picks up the op. OC immediately start to struggle a little bit.
Actually, I love
This is all
oh my
bait,
god,
though,
this is
from
so
Eli.
much attention being pulled. Holy cow! Other side of the map is free. Eli is living rent-free in Blinn College's heads right about now. Plant goes down. It will be heard. The
Spike
rotate now
planted.
there. Now this is tricky for Eli. You have to lurk behind them at just the right pace
Eli's
to get
never
there
gonna
at a
be in
time
this
that's
fight.
relevant. Otherwise, you are going to be completely knocked out of this round. It is effectively 2v3 until that player gets there. 4v3 with a flank from Momiji. This is deadly.
And there's no way Instinct sees this coming, right? Even if he does, he has to support the site.
On one, some damage on the next. 2v3 now. And Eli has arrived. The star buys time, peeking out, and Momiji catches the timing. Now Instinct has made out of the bubble as well.
Enemy remaining.
Pops in, seeing and picks up the kill. Spray as well onto the spike. OC with a massive round. The bait on the other side of the map from Eli, perfectly timed. Doesn't quite arrive in time to help over on the A side, but it doesn't matter. The damage was done. OC, I love this. We saw this in previous maps. They'd go down members, and you'd see them just stop. You'd see them wait to the end around and pick a side to push. This time, Paul, this is what I was talking about maps ago. They start floundering, they lose players, and then you just start poking. You just start prodding at the other side. See, okay, hey, I'm not going to be up in your face. I'm not trying to take duels, but I do just want to force you to do stuff. And that's exactly what happened. They started poking, trotting. They hear a couple rotates come over towards B, and they're like, okay, if we just keep doing this, we can push players in uncomfortable positions. That's exactly what they did. They bring the round to a fantastic place. A killer final set of kills from Instinct to finish it off. That's what I want to see out of OC.
I'm gonna use my one time here, Dor. I've been saving on to this.
Please.
Galaxy brain play from the Astra.
You can have it.
I've been
You can
saving that for
absolutely have it.
almost 2 years. Man, Instinct. I cannot
that was one of the
believe
best
that-
rounds we've seen from OC all day.
That was, I mean, you know, we've brought up Instinct a couple of times. What an insane play. They forced the first timeout from Blinn we've seen all series. Instinct ruining their day, stalling so perfectly with not only a smoke that he hides in, so he doesn't even have to consider a flank, right? He hides in his own smoke because then he doesn't have to worry about it. I don't know how he won that fight versus Teague, pushing back into it after he gets rid of Momiji. But what an insane round. 5-0 now. As Blinn
Still rifles up on the
desperately
board.
put economy together.
Yeah, Blinn has still got something. They forced through on this round. Goes out the Cascade. Teague on GPU gets shut down. Saint really putting that one to rest. OC would not be wrong to pull back on this map. The ultimate though. Really get much of anything. Try to push through off the back of it and entry. On the
But
wrong
this is
end
all-
of 4 barrels.
This is all just buying time for Glyph's lurk. Look, we've been going this series so long and Glyph hasn't lurked that much. They've lost the thread. Glyph has completely gotten into B-Link. He is tucked.
And then they push. Glyph starts in, takes down a little bit of Momiji's health. They've sniffed it out now, but they're pancaked, sandwiched in between the likes of OC, who start swinging them one by one. All of a sudden, Spaz left on his lonesome in the back of the site. Starts to get it done. Good for 2, needs one more, but against arguably the strongest
30
player
seconds left.
on OC today. And by a significant margin. Instinct has done this time and time again. Spaz does not have the Odin to fall back on this time.
Done.
Cold as ice, holds the angle! Spaz just can't take it. Has no clue where the Astra was. OC go up to 6. Shut down the economy of BC while they're at it.
And that tempo you were talking about, the push into the breath of, like, just that quick breath right before they start playing again, that OC take, has thrown Blinn for a loop every single time, whether it's, you know, pumping the brakes and then re-hitting A. 2 rounds ago, they went to B, and then they just kept Eli there to stall before they went for the A contact play. And then in that round, they go up, they take all of that space, and use thrash, flashes, dashes, and a lurk from Glyph to set themselves up perfectly. Now it's just a hero rifle from Shy, desperately trying to carry Blinn through this round. At least Momiji gets one. That's the star player, the 2-time clutcher that has been dispatched. But entry answers right back.
A swift entry onto the site. Eli with the back of site control, but doesn't seem very long. Just to get down a little bit, OC solidify their position. It's 3v2 now. Saints got this angle locked up. Town has nowhere to go. The rotate is too long. Momiji does win an important 1v1. And thus, Saint and Eli look to push this out. They want to catch out Town, but Town can't pincer them at the same time. Momiji, watching their back, is ready for it, though! And it was so important that they chased Town down and get that kill quicker. I think there was definitely a moment of hesitation there that just should not have been had.
Dude, Town was a dodge tank there, dude.
Yeah, really,
He's
though.
playing a monk. He's invested in the dexterity. He just peels for his team. He pulls them. He kited them. Am I watching Valorant? Or am I watching the WoW Dungeon Invitational? It was crazy.
It was good stuff. It was a smart play by Blinn College.
absolutely.
I still don't think they should have gotten away with it. Like,
No,
OC definitely should have gotten that kill, but a round on the board is a round on the board, and one where they get to pick up
Well,
weapons and increase
and, I
their
mean-
economy while they're at it, which means all the more that there's an operator on the board for Shy. I was really nervous after it got taken away earlier. It was a huge investment into a round that got ripped away by OC from a huge clutch by Instinct. This time, at least he managed to get another one up. I was worried it'd be a while since we'd seen it.
Blinn have a little bit of a misread here, though. They've struggled on B the last few rounds, so they've just left Town over by A to try and hold on to that. They're going to play full retake on A, which they theoretically can do with a lockdown and a Viper's Pit. Now Teague is desperately rushing back over to the map because this deep position in B long is giving Blinn all the information they need. But a Cosmic Divide is going to lock them out. This is going to be a plant. No doubts. Not die!
Dizzy peak! I swear there's just something, like, you're just not used to playing against the Gecko.
Both lockdowns
thinking about
invested.
this.
Oh no!
Gives Instinct a little smooch. Instinct feels that. Gives him a bullet back.
Can anyone cover for Instinct? I mean, there's a lot of available players for OC here. Yeah, he's got his gun back out.
Spike planted.
Not that it mattered.
Right there.
2v3. I mean, Momiji has to win this. Okay, now we're 2v2. This is a winnable situation. The pinch has to be perfectly timed from Spaz and Momiji. Oh no.
One enemy remaining.
The gun was spotted. Now it's all on Momiji in two different ways to look. Basically a 50-50. No way to maintain momentum,
I
Blinn.
got your backs. Here.
And the operator's taken away again. I mean, we said it, the weapons were really raining chaos over OC in the last map. This time, without the Odin in the way, the operator is enough that they can handle it. Entry with a phenomenal timing here to shut down Spaz. Honestly, just great game sense in that moment.
It's so interesting watching these post plants because you would think if you like covered the characters, right? You would think these comps are reversed, right? We're running with Harbor Viper and the Sky for Blinn, and yet it's OC who have suffocating map control every single time. Finally, Shy with an op getting back on the board. Couldn't quite hit the second shot though.
Where's this guy keep getting the money for operators? Whose trust fund is he dipping into? Wait a minute.
Bro, he's got no armor. That's how he's got the money.
Blinn College pick up another on the other side of the map. Again, they've invested heavily into this round. Paid off this time. Turning dividends.
Swamp grenade.
OC
This
turned the
still
last
isn't
one
done.
around, though.
Like 2 stingers, a judge. OC managed to get like actual decent control of B and B long. Blinn could still very much lose this.
And this is interesting. They're going for the opposite of what they did last time. Last time they feigned B and then ended up playing A. This time, the B's for real. And it did actually keep players on A. So it worked strategically, but I still just don't think they have the numbers to pull this one off. Backside they go. But Detain will result in a
30
kill.
seconds left.
Commitment to the fight for OC. 2 players versus 3 is not unwinnable here. Reckoning used. High ground claim. There's still a Dizzy available to Detain if he needs some way to use it. Peeks the high ground. Finds Spaz. 2v1 now for Eli. A jump peek by Spaz makes things awkward with the spike playing down and his up to defender's peak. They double swing. Hits the first. Spaz just barely gets back in and corrects the aim to pick off Eli, who was in the midst of flicking back onto him. That could have been bad.
Loved the call from Spaz there to use the Reckoning to delay the plant, right? Or it doesn't even necessarily delay the plant because you can plant, but while planting, you guarantee yourself a concuss. That opens room up for Spaz and his friends to swing on the site, even though it's a little bit risky because you were still waiting on like the rotates from your allies to come over and fully support you, right? But he just wants to take the most advantage of that pick. He finishes off on Glyph. He wants to try and stall things out and force movement. He forces Saint out into the open. The Reckoning is a really powerful retake ult on this map. Still a long way to go for this Blinn, or for this half before we consider it recovered from Blinn. That's not a half bad start.
Lock in sight.
Flashes out, and that pressure towards B long that we saw earlier be so successful for OC is in play. Against the operator, though, it still is trickier. Though I actually don't think the operator stopped them on B long all that much, save for a couple of moments.
It's slowed him down, though. It's made it really expensive, right? Shy getting
only
a
the
pick
one
there.
round.
I've
Shy
got your
had 2 rounds with it's 2 good ones and 1 miss so far. I don't know. Guy's got a lot to do. Dash out of the high ground from entry, backs into Spaz, who's lying in wait.
Ooh, really wild swing from Momiji there. Eli, not an equally wild swing, but an equally unfortunate one. Teague with a jump peek. Trying to spot Saint. Fails to do so, and Town actually found. That's all the way in mid. Glyph gets that.
Oh,
from.
great
Now he's
refrag.
wrapping through a link. 2v2. A judge picked up Glyph.
What are you doing?
Wanted. Oh no! He thought he could get a rifle at his feet. The reload gives away Teague! And Instinct
Instinct's crazy,
pushes
dude.
forward to
Instinct's
cover
crazy,
the
bro.
angle.
How many times is this guy gonna bail OC out? Holy! I told you, he didn't stop last map. Like, even though they were losing, he's still just hitting shots. And ironically, that's the one thing they need their smoke player to do right now, just keep hitting shots, because he has been the saving grace for this team so many times. It's not even like it would be a close match without him doing that, but him doing that has made a lot of things go a lot better for OC. They're up 8-2. This map has flown by.
And Blinn, I mean, they only won, what, one round in a row there, so they're already broken down. They're already out of money. Momiji with a classic. 2 rounds left in the half, decides to invest the Viper's Pit in A. How do you hold on to this, Momiji? Like, what is the plan here? Like, are you just trying to, like, threaten and you hope they won't call your bluff? Are you hoping, like, oh, maybe they'll think I bought a shorty or a judge or something? I mean, there's no Sova, so it's hard to clear a Viper's Pit, and it seems like, yeah, OC, they fall for the bluff a bit.
It's not necessarily a bluff, right? It's pretty normal to have less weight towards the Viper's Pit. You expect less players to be able to hold that, but it is definitely a lot less than you would normally expect. 3 players over on the B side. Still with lesser weaponry, though. It is a tall ask for anybody, especially with the way OC is playing. They got the guns out. Take is here. A lockdown is secured as well. You know I love this play. Just make sure you get the round up on the board, especially towards the end of the half. They know that not much is going to be up for Blinn College. Great covering of the flank as well, because Momiji will be coming from that angle in not too long. The dive in from Shy is admirable, to say the least. And here comes the swing. He gets one. All of a sudden, things get dicey.
Last player standing.
Maybe a bit too optimistic on picking up the weapon there. Allows Saint to kill. Secures around. Momiji shut off on the flank by Glyph. And OC are going to go right on up to 9 rounds.
Yeah, a couple.
What a
things in
phenomenal
that-
half.
A couple things in that round look a little bit
Last
silly.
round in
I'm
the
gonna give
half.
Shy the benefit of the doubt on the dash forward, right? Because he's got a shorty, and B, he's trying to dodge the guiding light.
Yeah.
If he manages to react to that guiding light, right? He actually does get like some decent value there. In theory, he could at least get one with a shorty, probably.
No, I mean, it's not a bad. You just have low econ.
Yeah, it's
playing
just
playing down
silly.
B long with low econ's a tall order for anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Last round of the half, though. In Blinn College, I mean, 9-3 is not even.
It's
Maybe
survivable.
salvageable. Survivable, yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
Oh, yeah.
Dizzy this time shut down. Blinn College are clearly beginning to learn.
You want
Crash
to
shutdown
fight
too.
it?
That isn't on entry, really haphazard entry there. You'd think, considering his name, he would do those a little bit more reliably. Instinct, on the other hand, diffing Shy. I'm getting flashes of our map number 2. Or map 1 as well. Oh no, the timing for Town. That's so unfortunate. Instinct has some sort of like luck god on his side with the timings he finds on every single member of Blinn.
I haven't been keeping track. What's this dude's KDA right now? It's got to be something dumb. 15-4. Come on!
Insane.
Least deaths on the team, most kills and most clutches, and
And first
3
like,
clutches
dude,
at
it's
that.
first bloods, right?
Yeah.
Like he killed Shy this round. That was the first kill for Blinn this round. It's not like he's baiting his teammates.
These are not free
all
ones,
these rounds.
no.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane. All right. OC, want to finish this thing off quickly. Blinn College still spiraling against this composition that they had no idea they'd be coming into today. I mean, OC have done more than their homework. I think they deserve a little extra credit for this one, Paul.
I mean, the Gecko definitely felt less impactful the further we went on, but it was such a shock.
It did its job.
The way it was
Yeah.
played in the first few rounds that Blinn weren't able to do anything
What
there.
is this?
And then the rest of this
stack
comp,
B first pistol? What the hell are?
well,
what
they
is
might
OC
regret that
cooking?
a little bit because they just leave A. I mean, they do have Instinct holding on to like sewer control here, right? So they know that there's not going to be any flanks. Instinct can now like lurk through art,
Placing swamp
get a
grenade.
pretty quick timing here on somebody if they retreat that way.
Blinn didn't really spend to get it though. They didn't invest much into taking that.
Nah. Look how deep they are. Oh, they all got flashed, and the Trailblazers gonna see all 3 of them.
Oh, with the dizzy? Oh my god, that's mean. 3 players cornered, nowhere to go. The knife is out for Saint. What? Oh my god, this game just keeps getting better. OC are not just here to win, they're here to entertain. One player remains in Momiji. Peek from Art gets one, but no more for his troubles. Saint cleans up with a 4th on the round. OC up to 11. Nearly to match point with an economic advantage.
The Wingman did it. Yeah, defuse. Wingman defuse. Actually, Wingman defuse is really strong in pistols too. Because in a round where it's so
a lot harder
important
to kill
that you
him.
have so many guns available, the fact that like Saint doesn't have to be the one to stick there. What a ridiculous play. He just tries to knife.
I know the knife wasn't me, but
All
that
right, he
combo-
dashed away. Fine, I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you.
The bird dizzy combo was kind of sick.
It was. Yeah, the Trailblazer into the Dizzy. That's sick. And it goes to show that, like, even though OC have theoretically only had one day to cook this up, I mean, maybe the reason they struggled on Pearl yesterday was because they didn't want to show this comp, right? Maybe they've been working on it,
Crazy.
right? And they didn't want to show this, and they wanted to keep this pocket against Blinn. Whatever it is.
Blinn College still unwilling to take an actual pause.
I've taken one this whole series. Crazy. Just crazy.
And it's crazy the depth that you have to think as well. Because obviously both these teams have had things cooking for a while. But they have to think not just about this, but like in 6 days, Nationals starts. You have to hold strats for that as well because both of them have qualified. Like, obviously there's scholarship money on the line here, but there's also the question of like, how much do we want to show? What do we want to bring to the table? I think OC is certainly... either this was cooked up last night, or they're revealing a lot right now.
Well,
and this is not inexpensive in the grand scheme of showing strats.
Well, but for OC, this is also a much more important match than it is for Blinn, right? Because Blinn, they won fall. They got one of those like first place seedings, right? So their first round, their second round, which are the most important. Round of 32 and 16 are the most important for teams to have good seeding in, because those are the rounds that, you know, there's no double elimination. If you get through those two, then you get a little bit of leeway. But those first 2 rounds are really important. And if OC win this series, they will be one of our first place seeds coming out of CVAL South. So they can dodge teams like Northwood or Fisher for the round of like 16. Winthrop, right? You have some sleeper picks in there, like, you know, like Dark Knights and St. Clair Saints have really been showing up. You don't want to necessarily have those guys to deal with in your round of 16 match, right?
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about how hard it is to, not just to get out of the South, but the fact that it's so much more punishing to be a low seed coming out of the South. Like,
100%.
You could be just marginally worse than the team above you, but it makes your match so much harder. Just given the disparity between the top and the middle teams in some of the other regions, whereas in the South, it's very much top-heavy.
And there are quite a few good teams in the South. That's the one thing about being in the South, right? Is if you're one of like the top 6 teams, then it's like, oh, okay, cool. I won't have to deal with the other South teams for a while in the past.
A moment of reprieve.
Yeah, exactly.
As if your journey to get there wasn't already arguably the hardest of all the regions. Yeah, it's a rough one. God, dude, what a game Instinct's had, though. What a match Instinct has had. This is gonna be a highlight he thinks about for quite a while.
You know me, Dora. I do like, you know, I like to put out the little like, here's our top-rated players of all CVAL thing. I'm expecting Instinct to skyrocket on that list. He was already doing really well, right?
Mm-hmm.
He might, after this match, he might just end up being like the highest-rated player in all of CVAL from spring.
30 seconds.
Insane stuff. Really long tech pause. Oh, man.
It's a very technical pause, I'll have you know, Paul. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, darn. I need to do more homework, it seems.
How do OC get their way back into it? If they ever...
How did Blaine get their way back into this?
Yeah.
I don't know,
I suppose Blinn.
It's...
What is the way? Okay, Paul. Let's draw it all the way back, because what they did against the Cypher felt great. Like, you should, in theory, be able to abuse the team running the slightly suboptimal composition. It's, I don't want to call it an IQ check, because that sounds mean, but like that's generally the phrase for it, right?
No, I get it.
To come in, bring this to the table, and say, okay, yes, this isn't necessarily correct, but do you know why it's incorrect?
That's fair. I think the problem with that sort of approach to this composition is I don't know if this is like a couple of things. I don't know if this is technically incorrect because between Saint and Eli, between Gecko and Sky, there's just so much ability to take space, right? Holding it is a little bit more tricky in theory, right? But how do you, even with all of these smokes, because like Spaz can throw up coves and cascades, and Momiji can throw up poison orbs and toxic screens. But how do you stop them from just sending Trailblazer and guiding lights and flashes and dizzies through your smokes and then pushing anyways? You can't. There's nothing you can do. So
I think for that, I mean, actually, there's a lot of credit having been the first man in time and time again.
True.
Through all of that.
Well,
I mean,
that's why Entry's
game.
KD isn't necessarily as high as Saints or Instincts in this match, right? Because he's the one pushing in. This time it's Shy, but he doesn't even clear Entry. Dies before that even becomes a thing. Oh, no! Oh, it's all falling to pieces!
Entry with a swift 4K. All right, Paul. Blinn College have one more round to do it. OC have made this a hell of a map. We see blowouts sometimes. It's just like I think Ascent was definitely one of those where it's like they got outgunned, they got outplayed. It felt like they didn't have much to contest the operator. The Odin. This though, God, sometimes it just feels like a team is running around you tactically, and that to me is just so impressive. And for OC to do that after the way they got trounced on this map yesterday is incredible.
Blinn, only Stingers in heavy armor. As they leap past all of this fam, one by one. They're like Lemming's door.
Placing swamp grenade.
Will they fall off this cliff? Ooh, that's nice.
OC set it up though. Instinct and Glyph, good, and they mow them all down. It's a victory lap now. They want the knife. They want to get as much onto this final kill as they can, and they do. Putting an exclamation point on the end of what was, save for a weird Ascent, an incredible series from OC. I mean, they came out the doors swinging. Second map, phenomenal. Third map, misstep. Fourth map, dude, what a way to bounce back.
I mean, if you took away operator kills and Odin kills from this series, it's not even a close series, right? OC just dismantled Blinn. Our first place from fall, our third place from winter. One of the teams that when you go across regions and you ask teams who are they looking out for in nationals, Blinn always makes that list. It's Northwood Fisher, Blinn who make that list. OC made Blinn look like child's play today. An unbelievable game. I think it's funny that we don't even have a Gecko graphic because he's nobody expected Gecko to be played. Why would you ever expect that? Oh man. Oh wait, no, it is there.
We got the little PNG logo in the bottom left.
Yeah, okay, my bad. But still, either way.
Oh, dude, what an insane series. Insane, great coordination from OC. Incredible to the entire team for doing their homework. And I think it's a perfect storm of, like, you've got a team that coordinates well, you've got a team that's done their homework, and then on top of that, you need somebody to do something. And today, it was the same guy for 4 maps straight. Dear God, what did Instinct eat for breakfast, dude? Man of the match performance 100% of the time. Never slumped, not for a single map, not while they were down, not while they were up. Impact frags, clutches, you name it, he brought it, and he's playing smokes.
Yeah, he's played smokes all 3 maps. Or, well, all 3 maps they won, right? It was, God, it's insane. Just insane. Not much to say about a 13-2. We had very lopsided maps today. But
and
Oklahoma
yesterday.
Christian University going to be coming out as our #1 seed from spring. That's great for them, not only for the scholarship bonus that will fly into their pockets now, but also the fact that they're going to be able to dodge scarier teams for longer in the bracket. I was taking a look at, someone did like a mock-up bracket on Twitter, right? Based off seedings. And it was like pretty probable. I don't think it was, like, things weren't 100% locked in because, like, we were still waiting on, like, TAMU and Oklahoma and OC and a couple of teams from other regions to solidify what their seeding might be. And I was thinking to myself, man, if OC don't win this match today, I don't remember what team it was. I think it was Winthrop in their round of 8 that they had, or the round of 16 that they would have to go up against if they didn't win today. in theory at least. So now they dodge that because they get the first place seed. Great stuff from OC. A well-deserved win.
Well-deserved win. One that I am more than happy to say we got the opportunity to watch. Look, man, we had fall, we had winter, we have had spring. Every last one of these finals has been a barn burner. I mean, winter was something special that I don't think I'll get to see again. Special. But Nationals promises even more. You guys, be sure to stay tuned for all that stuff. But from us, thank you so much for watching. Congrats again to OC. We'll catch you guys later.